Mm-hmm. All right.
Hold on. We're live. Just want to make sure my phone's all set. All right, guys.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I am live. Actually, I am live here for the first time ever by myself in this room, but I am with the guys from 3 Men in a Basement, and I got dressed up nice. I thought I'd wear some good attire.
Very pretty.
For this special day. Oh, shit. Ooh, let me lower this. So you guys want to introduce yourself? First of all, before you do, anybody who's watching this right now should already be subbed up to you guys. Because you guys had a channel before me. I was watching you guys before doing anything like this myself on YouTube. And I describe your channel as just a fun time of guys loving the hobby and just enjoying it. Like, you know, you talk specs, you talk money. When I have questions about Star Wars or variants, I go to Justin because I don't know, you know. So you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'll go first. Nemesis Prime, guys. You can follow me on Instagram. You'll also see me on 3 Men in a Basement. And I'm that guy who goes to concerts wearing the concert shirt. So I'm that guy wearing the Very Gary comic shirt on Very Gary's channel.
That's a nice shirt.
Roger, I'll get you one. I promise. We're in the middle of a pandemic, not today.
Yeah, really, not today, right? A pandemic. What's up, everybody? I'm Otto. I'm coming to you live and direct from the grotto. I'm so excited to be here on Very Gary's channel. Very Gary's been a great friend of ours since we really started, and standing 6 feet from me.
6 feet.
6 feet. If I am ever Otto, I always have the milkman.
Yeah. Everybody, it's Roger. I want to thank Gary for letting us come on here. Gary's been a big supporter of ours since the beginning. Always constantly giving us shout outs when he's on air on his channel and some of the raffles and stuff. So we appreciate that, Gary. And if I can get Everett to stop spitting on me when he talks, I'll feel a little safer.
There you go. And I just want everybody to know I'm rocking the Geeky Swag Shop shirt. So you guys check out the Geeky Swag Shop on Instagram and also on his channel, or not his store, geekyswagshop.com. He's got lots of cool stuff, lots of cool statues.
Thanks. Double A likes my shirt.
Yep.
Came in the mail today.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
The only time I've met the dude from Geeky Swag Shop was at the swaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's up by you, isn't he? Isn't he in Connecticut? Or is he
5 minutes from me.
Yeah.
He stopped by my house today. We were chilling. You know.
Why are you guys even near each other?
Because we're idiots.
Right. Well, who said that? Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, we're 6 feet from each other. I'm not wearing an invisible mask, maybe, but it's okay. So anyway,
Everett and I live together, so we, you know,
we cohabitate. You know, we cohabitate. So
I gotta say, so I've been on your channel a bunch of times and your shows a bunch of times, and it's always a blast because it's just so mellow. Just like the way we talk in person, I feel like is the same way we talk here.
100%.
There's no, I don't know. I'd like to think we're all friends. We see each other at shows. I mean, I think I've held all your guys' stuff at my booths before, just to hold on to stuff.
Yeah,
Gary, absolutely. Yeah.
Remember, this is a great story between Gary and myself, and he wasn't even looking to sell this book. I just couldn't pull
jeez, I know this one.
So we're at Terrificon, and I got in early, and Gary's like setting up and everything, and it was Saturday or Sunday morning. And I go by his booth. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm going to leave my backpack here. I walk around. He's like, okay. He goes, dude, check out this Secret Wars. What number is that? The Dr. Doom cover.
Was that 11? 10?
Secret Wars 11. And it was a 9/6 yellow label signed by Mike Zeck and somebody else. But Zeck did a sick Doom remark on it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Doom fan. I looked at Gary. He goes, how much you want for it? He goes, well, I'm not even looking to sell it. I'm like, well, what do you want for it? He goes, I don't know, $100, man. I couldn't pull that $100 out of my pocket fast enough. I'm like, look, I mean, there's still people waiting in line, and that's where all the deals are getting made. So,
well, I'll be honest. I didn't even see when I bought that collection. I didn't even see the remark until Terrificon, like literally right before you came up there. I didn't even have a price right. Like I didn't even know. And I'm wondering if other people didn't even notice it because it sat in the box for a day or two.
Yeah,
people passed right over it.
Jeez, yeah.
Batman 2227 says make the trade, Otto.
Oh, we're already talking about it.
You know what?
We're already talking about it.
It's funny. So I'm gonna bring this up. I like that Batman book you have there. I've got something.
Yeah, that's
nice. Hold on,
book.
There you go.
That's a nice book.
It's starting to pick up a little steam, dude.
And it is. And I just want you to know I got a call from somebody who I think is very smart, Shortbox Bernie, and he says to me, he goes, you should do that trade. And Shortbox Bernie's a numbers guy, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. And he's like, well, you got to. And I didn't even like. He's like, okay, and he like kind of let it go. But it's funny how there's like, I don't know, it is what it is. But that's a nice book here.
It is. So let me ask you guys, because you guys are also over there with TiVo on Lords of the Long Box, and you know all the spec stuff. Is it confirmed? Is there a Man of Steel 2 coming?
We haven't really talked about that at all. That has not been something that we've talked about at all. Justin, do you know anything like that? We haven't talked about that.
Well, right now, I mean, we did a spec list a couple of weeks ago with all the Superman characters that were coming, but that's really for the Lois and Clark new show that's going to be coming on CW.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Brainiac was talked about, right?
We talked about Zod. We talked about Inner Gang. We talked about.
Well, you guys talked about Cavill making an appearance in Shazam, right?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, but as far as characters, like I said, Inner Gang's going to come. Zod will be coming on. Doomsday at some point, and a couple other characters. So,
right. I liked Man of Steel. I don't know about you guys, but I thought Man of Steel was a fun movie. I liked all these. I was a huge fan of Christopher Reeve and stuff like that. I didn't watch Krypton, so I'm going to defer to Roger. How was Brainiac in Krypton?
I think Brainiac was phenomenal.
Really?
They did him very well.
That was actually what I was going to roll into, Roger. Because I didn't watch Krypton. I didn't know.
What is the matter with you guys? Are you kidding me? That show's phenomenal. You guys, everybody's in their house. Right? You can't go anywhere. Binge watch it.
Right.
They definitely did a phenomenal job with Brainiac, and I think the show his powers, how big, how powerful he was.
Yep.
I don't know much about him from the comic book end of it,
right?
Or how accurate it is as far as that's concerned. But they did a phenomenal job the way they made him look.
Right.
I mean, this is Everett. Come on,
that is a nice book. You know what? I'm gonna have to. Maybe we can make a deal for cash when I get my stimulus money. But we'll have to see. But then it'll go up to $500 in price. No, but you know what? I just watched with Brainiac, the Red Sun Superman.
Yeah, that was really good.
Phenomenal.
Well, I was gonna take kind of like a poll, even from the. I mean, I should guys talk to the chat, so I apologize if you guys are in there chatting away. But if there is a Man of Steel 2, all right, who's the villain?
That's
Brainiac.
It's got to be. I mean, it would really.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's gotta be. See, look at now. You know what he's doing right now? He's planting the seed. You are planting the seed like you wouldn't believe about that. My God, you're right. It would have to be Brainiac. I don't know. I mean, Zod's neck. He snapped Zod's neck, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be Metallo because we had Ultron, right? Correct. They're not going to try to do that.
No,
we can't be Doomsday. It's not Lex.
Terrible,
I could see Metallo in a Supergirl movie though.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, right? I can see that. Yeah, right.
It's got to be Brainiac, which tells me there's room for this book to grow. Here's what's going to happen, dude. I'm going to crack this. Actually, here, we could roll into Rocket Comics here real quick, but I could crack this, send it over to Rocket Comics, have it cleaned, pressed, and regraded.
Right. And then when it comes back to you, it'll be breaking news. Superman 2 is going to come out. Brainiac is a villain, and this is going to cost me $500 more, right?
500? I think it might go more than that.
Oh my God, this guy's killing me, Smalls. Jeez.
So before we really start getting into the chat, do you want to talk real quick about Rocket Comics?
I do want to talk about Rocket Comics real quick. So, guys, as you know, the 3 Men in a Basements are sponsored by Rocket Comics. Rocket Comics is your one-stop shop for all CGC pressing and signature series stuff. When the cons do kick back in, they're the people that you want to send your books to, okay? We did a video on 3 Men in a Basement, and you guys should go follow, about some books that we submitted. I had one book come back lower, but I had a few books stay the same. I had a book. Here's a good one. This is very underrated, and we'll talk about this real quick. My Daredevil 1 was a 5.5. It came back a 5.5, but it was off-white to white before. The grader on this one gave me white pages. So, I mean, doesn't necessarily hold a dollar value, right, Gary? But it definitely holds. Does it hold as a dealer? Does that hold like a sell,
premium?
A premium? Yes. Okay. Right. So that was really cool. And Rocket Comics is officially now getting into the signature series of books. Okay. So signature services. Okay. And what that means is they are now able to, Gary, you got that layout?
Popping up right now.
Okay. So they have a certificate of authenticity that they're starting to do now. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a high resolution. The hologram is beautiful. And they are absolutely going to start launching this. And they gave us 10 books to give away to you guys in our next 3 Men in a Basement giveaway, which we'll talk about in a second. And some things that you should know about this is that each one is unique. They're numbered. The artist and the date is kept in a database. People can email you guys for the certificate. It's only $10. The signatures will be witnessed by an agent of Rocket Comics. They come in a Mylite 2 and a full back sealed in Rocket Comics. Each COA will have a hologram sticker. They're custom designs, and they're great. You can do it for Funko Pops. You can do it for they're not worth their, something that's cool about it is if you don't want the SIG, but you just want to have it just in case you want to sell it at some point. The only thing is though, they are not CGC eligible for a yellow label. Okay. So that is something that you cannot do, but I'll give you an idea of the 11 books that they sent me. So one of the books, and so what we're going to do, guys, is on 3 Men in a Basement, by the end of the weekend, we're going to have a 1,250 subscriber giveaway. And I will do a video and I will talk about 5 books that we're going to give away to get us to 1,250. And even returning fans of 3 Men in a Basement followers, all you have to do is hashtag 3MIB in this video, and that's what we're going to put in the randomizer. And when we hit 1,250, we're going to give away 5 different things. 4 comic books, which I haven't decided, but I'll put that in a video. But I'll give you an idea of some of the stuff that we've got. We've got a great Scotty Young book right here, signed by Scotty Young. And on the back, the certificate, just like that. We're going to be giving away. Now, we've got 10 books, you guys. We've got a couple Art and Germ. We've got a couple Adam Hughes.
Adam Hughes, yeah.
We've got a nice Chris Claremont book right here.
I love Adam Hughes' signature.
Yeah, very simple, right? We've got Claremont here. We're giving that away. We've got a great book right here. Justin, this is first
Batwoman. Hey, Gary, put the solo screen onto Everett and him.
Give me a minute. I'm new to this. Might be me. Uh-oh.
No. If you just click on them on the bottom.
Yep.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, remove from stream?
No. It should be... No, it should be right next to that. It should say you should be able to put them to full solo.
All right, we're back.
Back and better than ever.
Gary's new to the StreamYard service, folks.
Yeah.
You know what it is I can't. How do I do this?
Okay, it's okay, Gary. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
People just want to see the books. But you know what? If they check us out on 3 Men in a
You just got to
Basement.
go to our video. And then here's what we got today. This is a great story. So shout out to Geeky Swag Shop because I know he's on. Dude is a big supporter of us, and we appreciate everything he did. So he stopped by my house. Obviously, he stayed 6 feet from me when he dropped the stuff off. But he's like, Otto, I want to give away this Jordan Funko Pop to you guys so it'll help you out with your subs. And I'm like, all right, dude. I've been dabbling in Funko Pops. It's Jordan, right? Who doesn't love Jordan? Who doesn't love Funko Pops? So I'm like, all right. So he dropped it off, and he gave me this huge box. I'm like, dude, what could this be? And so this is going to be second place for our 1,250 subscriber giveaway. This huge MJ Chicago Bulls Funko Pop. And I mean, this is killer. I mean, it's number 75 if you follow Pops. It's Jordan. He's got the retro Bulls jersey on. He's got the Jordans on. So this is going to be one of the things that we're going to be giving away in our next video. So just to reiterate, Rocket Comics is starting their own COA, their signature series. I'm going to be dropping a video this weekend on 3 Men in a Basement. So please subscribe, and share our videos, guys. I know all you guys do. And at 1250, the next video I'm going to put out is a 1250 video. So look out for that. And I got lots of good stuff to give away from Rocket Comics. So that's it, Justin. Gary, thank you very much.
Yeah, and just to be clear, guys, he's going to be dropping a video later this weekend. That's the video you have to hashtag 3MIB to be entered in the in the contest.
Yes.
Just because a couple guys are hashtagging right now in the live chat.
Yeah, no, sorry. sorry. Yeah. So it has to be in the video that I'm going to drop, which will be dropped by Sunday, okay? So thank you very much. All right. So Gary, we're pretty excited for that, man. How many people we got in the live chat right now?
Sorry, I got guys texting me from the live chat. I don't know, 70 something, 73.
Nice.
Let me acknowledge some of these guys. Right, we got Man from Beantown who's always around, which thank you, I appreciate that. Batman Benator, Double A Comics. You guys had Double A at your comic swap.
Yep. We did.
Who else? Erod is here. We all know him. Erod. I was actually with Erod at the Zap, their sale when it was like 5 degrees out.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. Stampede. Did I see Manimal in here? I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of guys. Sorry for Night of Ren. There we go. Who's that? Stitch Havoc 88. He's here. Austin Lemmy. Wobles is here. I haven't seen Wobles on Instagram in a while. He had a baby.
Oh,
probably within the last year now. So we got Rudy in here. Justin, you want to send that link one more time for the 3-man page?
Yeah. I'm just going to keep dropping it in there every now and then. So, guys, where you see my name, that's not my channel. Sub up to 3 Men in the Basement, which is the comment. Don't sub up to me because I don't drop any videos on my channel, even though I do have like 50 to 60 subscribers, which is fun. So one day.
Justin I got to give it, I'm in awe. Like, you know what impresses me is about how everybody is raising their game. And all of a sudden, Justin gets this video, and all of a sudden, Discovery Bay is like, Justin killed it on 3 Men in the Basement with his graphics and everything. And he just killed it about the Star Wars. Justin, you want to talk about that video?
Yeah. So basically what I did was CBSI dropped an article back in January with all the different first appearances of all different Star Wars characters throughout Marvel and Dark Horse. So I went down a rabbit hole. I figured, now's the time to snatch a lot of these books up because in due time they could come to the big screen or Disney Plus or who really knows.
Right.
And I think the next thing really is the Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, they've already where we are. We've gone right before Battle of Yavin to all the way post Battle of Yavin. If you look at timeline, so really now's the time to really go back to that Old Republic, High Republic stuff. So really, I'm hoping for Darth Revan or Malak, Darth Bane. So I really just went on a tangent, going through shops, picking up any of these Dark Horse stuffs that CBSI dropped, and they're all really cheap books.
They're all dollar books, aren't they?
Some of the Dark Horse things are. I mean, the only ones that really are right now a little pricey are the Darth Malak, Darth Revan, and Darth Bane. Or really
that's if they know about them.
Yeah, and actually Thrawn, that Star Wars Heir to the Empire #1 is a pricey book as well. Yeah. Not like pricey, it's like under $100, but graded. I mean, I've been seeing them sell for $300-$400 in 9.8.
Right, but that's also first appearance of RAJ too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting.
ALD Collects wants to know if Otto made the trade.
The trade hasn't happened.
No, it's not made the trade.
No.
A lot of pressure. But
here it is, right here. Let me tell you about this trade one more time.
That's a nice looking book. And you know what this guy does? You're a funny guy here. And you actually put the grader's notes on the next slide.
Yeah.
You could definitely acknowledge that there are pressable things in it, right? You know what? Let's talk about that. I know we have a few pressers in the Gary, I'm sorry if I say this, but you pressed your own books, right?
I usually press my own. The only time I don't press my own, if there's spine rolls, I don't mess with that because ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
And if I'm overwhelmed. So when I bought this big collection, there was just so much work to do between bagging, boarding, organizing, cleaning, pressing, submitting that I actually pieced out a little bit to a guy. And I might have to do it again. So Erod, if you're in here, you may be next on line. I like using different pressers just because, I floated around.
What are words? Can I ask this? And because I don't buy the grader's notes. I'm sorry, because I would just obsess over it, and I would end up looking up all my grader's notes. Right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
It just takes one, right, Raj?
That's it.
Just takes one.
Break the seal.
Break the seal, and that's it. What are words, Gary, that you look for? Maybe that's something that we could do. What are
creases without color breaks is a big one.
Okay.
Finger bends, indents. Just again, creases without. I mean, Erod probably knows. Anybody in the chat who presses knows.
Yeah, I don't know if
Oh, super chat, Dave in the Cave. I'm so sorry. Not only do I have to take this guy off the stream, he throws $2 in for a super chat.
There you go.
You know what it is?
Way to stop it.
He's trying to get me up to spend the money to buy the better package here on StreamYard. So he
feels bad for you, cheap.
Right. You guys.
So I appreciate that, Dave in the Cave.
StreamYard's not cheap, man.
But I'm sure when Erod looks up notes and all the pressers, you know, you're looking for those indents, bends, folds, even dirt for that matter, you know, stuff you could usually clean.
Right.
You don't want to see color breaks, right? You don't want to see what is it? Crease that breaks color.
Foxing doesn't help, right?
No, foxing.
What is foxing, you guys? Like, I'm not that smart. Like, that's why I hang out with you guys.
I don't have
like foxing is discoloration.
It's like if you look at it on the back of the book, you could usually see it on the back because it's white. You see like tanning almost.
Your app says it's staining.
Yeah, like brown spots, like shit.
Yeah.
Like shit.
This is not foxing.
Is that? What book is that, Gare?
This book is actually the first appearance of Brainiac.
Jesus Christ. Oh, mildew. Okay.
I tell you, I really want the Sub-Zero and Mr. Freeze because I'm missing Mr. Freeze and Riddler. That's it, and I'm good.
Okay. Gare, I
just blows right through it. Okay, on to the next part.
yeah. I noticed on your last video, your haul, a lot of the stuff was off-white to cream. Now, you've got to admit, that's because that guy didn't bag any of those books, right?
Correct. If there were 10 to 15 books that were even bagged in this collection, it was a lot. So, and we're talking about books from the 70s. Yeah. So just take a newspaper out for 5 years. Granted, the paper quality is different, but a newspaper in 5 years will discolor.
Right.
Forget about 30 or 40 years.
Really?
So
you guys, I'm actually in a mini raffle right now with E-Rod. He said he's going live, so I want to go see where I'm at. He's raffling off this great Conan book. Now, I'm not like I had Conan #1. Not a huge fan of Conan per se, but this is a high grade. No, actually, this is actually X. This is X doing it. I was in E-Rod's raffle yesterday, so X is doing a raffle for a Conan, which I jumped in.
Which Conan? I'm sorry.
It's Conan #1, and it's on X Illusionaries page, and it's let me see if I can find it. I think it's limited spots, like it's like 12 or 15 spots, which I'm all about. And I won the first spot in the mini, so I took spot #1. It's like a 9.4 first Conan with a nice stand sig. So that's a book that I'm not necessarily looking for or going after, but to have that book in high grade, I would definitely want it. So I'm going to tell you guys what's happening. Well, I'll tell you right now. Okay, so I got 2 spots, 1 in 10. We're going to do a live mini right here.
In the mini? Oh, I thought it was in the main. If it was in the mini,
I don't endorse any gambling on this channel.
It's like
8 rolls. Hold on, 8 rolls.
Oh, while you talk, I mean, let's acknowledge some people in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, from Beantown definitely says first Riddler is money as all heck. And
I'm not talking about Golden Age.
I want Golden Age.
Well, yeah, of course I want it, but no, I just need the Silver Age. I'm missing Riddler. I do have the first Silver Age Penguin somewhere. I don't know. It's around here somewhere.
All right, last one.
There we go.
And
$20 gone. All right, I got 1 spot, so this is what it is. Shout out to X.
All that money you could have done.
You know what I do have, Otto? So this collection, and I've been talking about this for months. I apologize.
Biggest collection, greatest collection ever.
This guy bought. When I tell you he bought every book, I have all the Atlas #1s that you've been trying to pick up.
Oh, great! There we go.
So if you want me to
the only way you sell it to me is if I trade, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, all the Atlas books, all of them. Like I don't know all of them, but like just
probably.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. All right.
AA Comics first Calendar Man. So I had an opportunity to buy the first Calendar Man at Zap during that half off sale, and it was a decent grade, and that's not really a cheap book.
I don't even know. When did he first appear? Golden Age, Silver Age?
It's Silver Age, but I think it's super early. It's the cover with him like coming out of the flaming.
Yeah, it's like he looks like has a hazard mask, hazard suit on. I have it. It's like Detective 200-ish, like in the early 200s.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap.
Right before Batwoman and the Mad Hatter issue.
Okay,
yeah, there you go.
Okay, that Mad Hatter.
There you go.
List too. Gary, you got that first Mad Hatter?
Nah, that's another one. I have the main Rogue. I mean, does Hatter really count? I should get it.
I like Mad Hatter. You know why? Well, he's on the cover, and everybody's on the cover. Batman Robin's on the cover. He's on the cover, and Jarvis Tetch. You know, I grew up to Batman 66. That's what I grew up to as a kid watching. His episodes were great because his top hat would pop open and like something would pop out and it would mesmerize everybody. I don't know. So I'm just a huge 66 fan. That brings me back to at least when I was a kid. You got any books recently?
No.
Yeah, you did.
I did, but
You didn't bring it.
I didn't because I only read half your text
Okay.
when you said save it for next week.
All right. Well, you want to tell us what it is? You want to hold off on it? Or?
I don't know. I mean,
Is it linear?
it's very linear.
It's very linear?
Very linear.
All right. We like linear.
We like linear. It's a deal I made with Ryan, the comic guy,
Yeah.
who newly friend of the show.
Yep.
He has. If you haven't visited his website, you should. He's got a lot of great books. I mean, mostly modern stuff. I mean, there's definitely not everybody likes variants and modern. So,
Right.
but if that's
Hey.
the guy, he's got a ton of stuff.
Yeah, really.
He really does. I mean, there's a group of people who only get look after older books, and there's a group of people who love all the variants and modern stuff. So
Yeah.
I bought you want me to, I bought
No. Save
All
it.
right,
Save it.
all right.
I like the lead-in intro.
I'm gonna bring the other two that I'm just as happy with.
All
That
right,
make
you're
it
gonna show
linear.
that next Friday.
Yes,
on
next
3 Men in
Friday,
the
three
Basement,
men in the basement show,
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And I think Barry Gary's going to come on our show.
Very Gary.
Right?
I am.
Yes, next Friday. And you're going to save one of your CGC boxes.
I am.
Yes, we talked about this.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
Batman Banadier is asking, does anyone have First Parasite? He's on the cover of that book, right?
Yeah, it's like an Action Comics book.
It's an Action Comics book.
Or adventure comics.
Oh,
I can't-
Parasite. That's an Action Comics book. He's punching Superman in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it somewhere in here.
Oh, no, look at that for sale.
It's
All
A, so it's like probably box number 1. So it's on the bottom of this pile.
So, Gary, do you really think you have some Dark Horse Star Wars stuff?
I have 100% have Dark Horse Star Wars. I haven't watched your video because I'm literally going to get my Star Wars box out of the garage, sit down, watch your video as I'm thumbing through it. Because the Dark Horse stuff that I do have aren't even organized. It's like F this right into the box, the $2 box.
All right.
Okay.
So, I'll keep you posted.
Can I be in that group comment? Can I be in that group chat? Or,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there's,
I mean, look, there's two. I know a lot of the older stuff, a lot of the silver, the bronze, the copper, even modern stuff. But I'm no good with the variants, and I'm no good with the Star Wars stuff. And there's the guy right there to talk to.
Right. That's the point. That's why I hang out with him. I hang out with people smarter than me. That's why I'm hanging around you three. Believe it or not.
It's not tough.
It's not tough to do. So I actually hit up my LCS. One of my LCSs is a small shop. They don't buy big collections, but I went in and with what's going on right now, there's only a few places I go. I go to the grocery store. I'll go to the liquor store, and I'll go
The essentials.
The essentials. I do the essentials, right?
And
I
comics.
absolutely wear gloves and stuff like that. But my LCS is doing almost kind of like a quasi appointment only. So I went in there just to support them and throw some money their way. And I picked up a couple books, not big books, but for half off. I'll show you what they are real quick. And there's a few more, but I picked up Micronauts #1 for $10.
Hey, I love that book.
Love that book, right? Dave Cockrum cover. For $2.50, I picked up the New Mutants, which the movie is in limbo right now. By the time it comes out, the kids are going to be 50 years old. And I picked this up, which I thought was pretty cool. And it was only $15.
Oh, is that the midnight variant?
Yeah, this is the midnight variant for metal.
Yeah.
And they must not have released it, so I picked that up. So I do have some recent pickups. And you know what? If I go to my LCS once a week to get out of the house and feel like a regular person and spend $50 to $60 with them, I'll definitely do it because I'm worried about the mom and pop shops. So
They wrote that on there. I didn't think this was a 1 of 100, but I do have this one.
You do? Okay. All right. Justin, is that a 1 of 100? Are they right or wrong? Or?
No, it was just a midnight variant. If you were one of the stores that did a midnight variant, you got one. So it's kind of like a one per store. If you did the midnight variant, a lot of stores don't do midnight openings for whatever reason, so they didn't get that one. I mean, I know a lot of them in my area didn't do it. So
right, interesting. All right,
Peter. This is a good question if you're a new collector. So when I jumped in with 2 feet. Everything. I was picking up all types of shit. And what I realized is there's just too much of it. So for me personally, and I can't speak for everyone else here, for me personally is I streamlined my collection to the point where, and I'm looking around, I just targeted Batman keys, Green Lantern keys, and Thor keys, although I am doing the Journey into Mystery run. So that was me. So what I did is everything that I picked up leading up to this point, I had sold off to streamline my collection. If I was a Superman fan, I'd be a little bit different. If I was a Flash fan, I'd be targeting other stuff, Amazing, Spider-Man, stuff like that. So it's really up to you. I mean, Justin, what is your collection? I mean, I've seen your videos and stuff, but what does your collection mostly look like?
I've trimmed down a lot. Well, I should say this. In the past year, I've streamlined my reading, which has streamlined my collection. I stick to mainly, obviously, Batman, but I stick to a lot of the Batman family books. I've trimmed down Marvel completely just to Spider-Gwen because I'm a huge Spider-Gwen fan. And the indie stuff, I really just read whatever I'm currently reading. Like, I'm trying not really to pick up new books. I will try to read them maybe online, via the online different portals, whether it's Comixology or, if it's a writer or artist I kind of really like. But I really don't want to pick up new series because then if it's a new series and it's like 50 issues, then it's just like, well, now I got to get into this whole new world, this world building. So, like I said, it's mostly Batman, like Red Hood, Nightwing, Harley Quinn also. So that's where I'm pretty much sticking.
Reading. It's funny you bring that up. When it comes to reading, if I've missed a big chunk of books, I wait for the trades or the omnibus. That's just me.
Right.
Yeah, if you have the room for it, definitely. I read indies. I read indie books in trade format. Like, I'll get the books, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot easier to read an indie book in the first story arc because it's easier than once a month because you read issue 1, then a month later you're like, well, now I got to relearn these characters, relearn this world, or who is this, who's that. I mean, you could pick up any Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men issue and you see the character, you're like, oh, I knew who that is.
Yeah.
Interesting. Raj, what do you buy? What are you reading right now?
Killock, man.
Killock. Let's talk about that.
Killock. That story from Livio is awesome. I love it. Every book you meet a new kind of character. And
actually, for all the viewers, tell a little bit about Livio and Killock.
So Livio was on our show a few months ago. He is an artist for IDW.
Yep.
I think Justin, him and Justin, I think, connected on a bunch of cons, and he had some artwork done by him, and he drew for Transformers, and then they gave him his own series called the Killock. So he's not only drawing it, but he's also writing the story, and the story's great. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
You literally text me after every issue.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're like,
it's great. I just love it. Like every issue, something happens to this group of characters that are together in the Killock, and you find a whole nother species, I guess, of people. That's even more interesting. And I'm not only enjoying it, but the art on it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
I really would love to get some original prints from the art, especially the one that he shared on Instagram of the Wraith with the butterfly. He basically said this really kind of sums up the character. Like this monster would devastate and kill entire planets, but yet when he wasn't doing that for their, what their purpose was, he would appreciate a butterfly flying because that was his personality. And it's an amazing, and the other cool thing is he has other artists doing drawings, that have to do with the Killock, and he puts them at the end of each book. So they're pinups.
Really?
And there's usually 2 or 3 in the back of every book of a pinup from a different artist of one of the characters that are in the Killock. Okay. So it's pretty cool. I almost want to get another set so I can cut those out and frame them.
Right. Can't be that expensive. Just go pick them up.
No, they're hard to find though.
Yeah.
They're not. Yeah, like I had to start ordering them online. Number 2, I had to order from IDW. Even Midtown was out of them. Yeah. So now I have to order. I order them a week before from Midtown, because the LCSs were running out of them. They're like, they can't keep them on the shelf.
Yeah. So actually, the person that we're talking about, Gary, is Livio Ramondelli. So shout out to him. Follow him on Instagram and also on Facebook. And Justin, he did your logo, right?
Yeah, he did this. I mean, this was blown up by my brother because he's an artist, but this was the original sketch.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
So this thing is huge and in a lot of detail. I basically asked for Nemesis Prime sitting on like a Game of Thrones type of chair with all like robotic parts. So
dead stuff all around it.
Did you just comment from Comic Book Flipping?
No, go ahead. What's his,
Hey Gary, I saw in an earlier video that you were trying to trade your Action Comics 242. What were you trying to get? You should ask that.
Well, he's actually trying to get this. Batman 121, 4.5 in a beautiful slab stand. That is my book. And Garrett, dollar for dollar, are we almost dead even on it?
No, the Brainiac is a couple $100 more.
Of course, a couple hundred.
Of course it is.
I thought it was a couple hundred less, to be honest with you.
Maybe it's a...
No, I'll GPA right now.
No, don't have to GPA it. Don't have to GPA it. Don't bother. Don't bother. You know. So yeah.
But you're getting
Batman
the deal.
cover.
You're the
I'd
one
love to
getting
hear
the better
everybody.
deal.
My favorite Batman cover is probably Batman 251.
Hmm.
I love Batman 251. That's the Neil Adams Joker.
Yeah.
Justin, what do you think?
It's definitely up there. I think, God, man, favorite Batman cover, like first appearance or
Cover?
is that what you're kind of talking about? Like first appearance cover?
Favorite Batman cover?
I like Ra's al Ghul's first appearance. I think that cover, the 232. Yeah, that green and yellow.
Yeah.
The one out of this collection came back a 4.0.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Looks beautiful, but
I don't know.
Hey, did you guys see the new Phase 4 news for the MCU? Not to transition too much, but
No, that's a good transition. Yeah. We the movie releases got everything pushed back.
yeah, they changed everything up.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I did not. When did that
So
come
as of right now, we have everything that's going on. I'm glad we really haven't talked about it. We've just joked around about it a little bit, but Phase 4, here you go. So Black Widow was supposed to come out, I believe, May or April.
I thought Memorial Day, right? Or
I'm not sure.
It was
but
April. No, it was April.
That's been pushed back to November, right? So now you have Black Widow coming out in November, which was supposed to be Eternals. Eternals was pushed back to February of next year. So now we're just under a year away from Eternals, 10 months. Then Shang-Chi was pushed to May 7th, which I believe Shang-Chi was supposed to be February, right?
maybe
March?
you're hype on that, you know.
I'm sure they're pushing. Yeah, I'm sure they're pushing those at least back to 1 to 2 months. But the fact that like they,
but
the fact
after
that
that,
they put that is just insane. Like Black Widow is,
yeah, and everything else is pretty much the same. Doctor Strange coming out on my birthday, November 5th of next year, and then 2022, we're looking at Love and Thunder in February, Black Panther 2 in May, and I think Captain Marvel. I can't tell where. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that hasn't been officially announced. So.
For Captain Marvel 2.
So
that hasn't been announced officially.
Yeah,
as far as the phase. I care.
I don't know if you guys do, but I listen to John Campia on YouTube. It's a pretty knowledgeable guy. He's pretty interesting. Talks about movies and stuff. And obviously, when there's no movies, he has to find stuff to talk about.
Sure.
But Doctor Strange is still in. People are still working on that movie. The actors might not be on set, but the editing is still occurring, and people are working on it and stuff like that. So
did they even start shooting Doctor Strange?
They've started shooting some of it, but then they had to shut down. But I think, according to what John Campia is saying, is a lot of the CGI stuff is still occurring and a lot of the editing. So, you know, I could see that coming out, you know. Black Widow, are you guys excited for it? I mean,
no.
I think it's going to be a lesser Winter Soldier. Okay. You know, Winter Soldier was a lot of hand-to-hand and kind of limited. I think that's what you're going to get with this.
Okay.
I hope
that bad. I mean, she's hot.
I hope they do Taskmaster justice.
Yes. Now, where is that book right now, Gare? I mean, is that like...
You know, I don't know.
No. I'm saying price-wise.
Spiked right after I gave it away at our swap.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You're talking about Taskmaster?
Yeah.
He
donated
to the raffle.
I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at the pricing on Taskmaster in a while.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be all right. I think Black Widow is going to be all right. I think Taskmaster is going to be awesome.
Okay.
I do. I have a lot of faith.
I am kind of looking forward to it. I like that character. I've always liked that character. I like her action scenes.
Yes.
In every movie. I mean, she just does a phenomenal job. She's
nice to look at. Right. Good point. Politically correct.
And I think I agree with Gary. I think it's going to be a lot of hand-to-hand fighting and stuff like that, which I enjoy that in movies. I mean, most action movies are that.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to it. I hope they do Taskmaster justice. The Red Guardian, I'm interested. I like the guy who's playing him. I wasn't really a fan of the Red Guardian per se, but I did watch season 1 of Stranger Things, and I like the guy who's playing the Red Guardian. So I'm hopeful for it. But I do want to say one thing. I'm actually very disappointed about Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was going to come out around my birthday, which is in June, And that was something that I wanted to take the family to in a way to celebrate it. But now that they're pushing that back too.
And the horse races. What the hell are we going to do on your birthday?
You know, so we have a huge party for
every
my birthday.
year. We watch the freaking we watch the
Belmont. We get everybody to come over, and guys, if you're around the tri-state area, if this is over, I'm having a huge party for my birthday. So just know that.
Oh, I'm definitely having a big July 4th party. I'm hoping we're good by then.
Nice. All right, we got another question, Justin.
Yeah, here you go. What do you think, Justin? I'd love everyone's opinion on this because I think we're all on the same page. What do you think about the Disney Plus shows? I think they have a good chance of being good. So I'll go first. I think they're going to be phenomenal. After watching The Mandalorian, I have a lot of faith in all of it.
I agree.
Can Winter Soldier and Falcon be? I don't know. I am really looking forward to WandaVision. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I agree. I definitely agree on the WandaVision. I think that's going to be one of the best ones. I'm not too sure on Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it's going to be great because you're going to see Baron Zemo come back. But WandaVision looks really cool from that quick little teaser that we got when Disney Plus launched with all the different shows. So I'm excited and I've read the Tom King run for Vision, and that's kind of where it kind of came from. So we'll see what happens and how that leads into Doctor Strange from what we've heard.
So do you guys think that all the hype coming with it can be detrimental to like people's opinions or critics? Like there wasn't I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have any expectations for The Mandalorian. Did anybody? I mean, so the fact that it was so good because you didn't know what to expect, but now everybody's all ramped up for these shows. Do you think that there could be, I don't know, bad criticism? Yeah, kind of overhyped, and then you watch it like, well, it was good, but it wasn't the hype.
Star Wars is so like literally kept, mouth zipped and like you don't know any Star Wars.
Right. But I do have Star Wars news though, you guys, because I was again watching one of these sites that I find very reputable. And they were talking about Obi-Wan. So we know that at the last what was it? D12? Am I saying that right?
D23.
D23. Kathleen Kennedy came out. Ewan McGregor came out. Everybody went crazy about Obi-Wan. And then all of a sudden, everybody didn't want to do Obi-Wan. And then from what I understand, Obi-Wan, when they started talking about it, started looking too much like The Mandalorian. So they got rid of the director. So they got rid of it. They got rid of him and they started over. And Obi-Wan, from what I heard today, is in the planning process. It is going to happen, and it is going to go to Disney Plus. Okay. So it's not going to go to the big screen, which I think is perfect. I'm a huge fan of Obi-Wan. I think
I'm with Justin. You never know what they're going to do with Star Wars. I mean, how do you keep Baby Yoda a secret until the day people see him?
But they did it.
That was unbelievable.
Happy. I don't think they planned on Baby Yoda being such a
but it's still like nobody knew that was even going to be a thing. Like nobody talked about it. There were no shows saying, "Oh, there's going to be a Baby Yoda." Like all of a sudden, there was the episode. He picks it up and it's freaking Baby Yoda. Like if that was Marvel or DC, we would have known about it months before it happened.
Right. But I don't think, and then maybe this is something that we can talk about. This is real simple. Do you guys think that they thought Baby Yoda would be the hit that it was? I don't think so.
No.
You don't think so either?
No, because they would have had toys made already.
Yes.
Well,
it's the very next day. The very next day.
I do think they knew it was going to be a big deal. And I think they knew that they were losing money by not putting the toys out early, but they didn't want to spoil it. There's one guy who nobody talks about enough when it comes to these things. We all talk about Kevin Feige all the time, right? Kevin Feige, this, that, and the other thing. Nobody talks about Jon Favreau enough. And that guy is like spot on with everything he does. He did Iron Man 1. He did Mandalorian. He's got his hands in everything, just like Kevin Feige. I mean, this was his. He was Baby Yoda, right? That was his creation. That was his storyline
too. He's definitely a fanboy.
But I think that if they thought it was going to be big, they would have had this stuff made and released the next day if they wanted to keep it a secret.
I read an article that they knew they were losing money.
Oh, really?
Okay, all right. Well, I mean,
they knew they were losing money.
Good for them, though. I think that just made it that much better.
Yeah. What about?
We talked about it. We talked about it on Lords of the Long Box with the way people watched Mandalorian and then pretty much gave up on Disney Plus. They got rid of their subscription because it's like same thing with Game of Thrones on HBO. People would just sign up for whatever they would sign month to month, and then as soon as Game of Thrones was done with that season, they would just cancel it. So it's the same thing with Disney Plus. But I mean, I watch it. I still watch everything that's on Disney Plus, whether it's the old Disney movies. I'm watching, Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, right? Clone Wars.
And speaking of Clone Wars, I mean, you said Jon Favreau is all about Mandalorian. Let me tell you. The person behind a lot of the Star Wars stuff, Dave Filoni, he has been doing Star Wars since 2010. He did the Clone Wars movie, did all the Clone Wars stuff as far as the show. He's still doing it now. He's the person. He's like this giant person who knows Star Wars history and lore. So I really want Dave Filoni to do a live action something.
He's doing Clone Wars is the animated, right?
Yeah, it's good. Right now, it's really good, man.
So I've watched like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
How did it start? Maybe I'm watching the wrong thing because I'm like, all right, this is what everyone loves. It's all right.
Well, where are you watching it from? Like you're watching season 1?
Yeah.
And the first episode was like Yoda and the clones?
Yes. Which was awesome. It was almost like each episode in the beginning had their own, like it was Yoda, and I think it was Obi-Wan, and then I think it was Anakin.
Right, exactly. And so I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. You know why I'm enjoying it? Because it's every week. I don't have to binge watch it.
And I'm not spoiled immediately by
what season are they on?
They are on
season 7
on Disney Plus.
Right. So if I want to watch it, it is binge watching.
Well, you can binge watch it now because there's so far
what's the one that everybody says you should be? Excuse me for my lack of Star Wars knowledge, but the watch that ties in the second season of Mandalorian and the character that's going to be in that.
Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. Well, no, Star Wars Clone Wars because it's really Star Wars Clone Wars because it's Ahsoka Tano. So, I mean, the way I watch, I originally watched Star Wars Clone Wars, season 1, you watch just all the episodes, but there's a website that you can go on and it's a chronological episode. So it shows you how to watch them because you don't watch them in order. Like you don't watch season 1, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. You literally jump back between the different episodes in the season. And then you may skip ahead to season 2 and have to come back for it's a really interesting way to watch it.
You're talking about Clone Wars?
Yes.
Yeah. Huh. And are all the seasons of Clone Wars on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know. There's an episode of
Night of Red 789 says season 1 of Clone Wars is rough, but season 2 and on is good. Gary.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Justin? You vouch for
that? Because it's the animation. The animation really picks up in season 2. So that's really where you see the change. Like you can see the change. Don't get me wrong. That first episode with Yoda and the clones is a great episode.
That was awesome.
And there are some downers. I'll tell you, any episode that involves like Jar Jar Binks or Padme, I cannot stand. But I think the Clone Wars, just the clones episode.
They get Jar Jar for Christ's sake.
Oh,
so bad.
Someone's got to be the village idiot.
Yeah, right.
We have Everett. They had Jar Jar.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Who's one of my favorite characters in the Clone Wars is Asajj Ventress. Mm-hmm. I really like Ventress's character. I think she's pretty cool. I wish they would do more with Aura Singh. And was she in the Clone Wars at all, Justin?
Yeah, she was in the later episodes with Boba Fett.
Yeah, I do like Cad Bane too. I think that's pretty cool. So, all right, nice. Cad Bane's a badass. Favorite villain?
Oh God, Joker, no doubt.
Scarecrow.
Sorry to be so boring. You guys?
I'm Joker's for me too.
Mr. Freeze for me.
Yeah,
I was going to say my second one.
You're a liar. Brainiac.
And my favorite Superman villain is
Brainiac. Yeah. Oh my God. So I just watched The Red Sun on DC streaming. I think that's where I
was going to catch that this weekend.
Yeah, and without giving any spoilers,
it's good.
It's very, very good, and there's a lot of things that they do in it. There's just enough of certain characters where you're like, "Wow, I get it." And the premise is that Clark, instead of dropping in Kansas, drops in Mother Russia, right, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's the book too, isn't it?
Yeah, the Millar book.
Justin, you read the book. Was it true to the book?
Yeah, very, very, very well.
Yeah, it's a fun show to watch. So
anybody that has been posting about it said just watch it. It's just raving about it. Yeah, everybody's loved it.
Okay.
I like how it jumps between, and I had this conversation with my brother. All the other DC animated movies, which are great or good or great, have always just been a continuous, timeline. But the way this is it jumps like every 10 years.
Yep.
Is like a different scene, which is fun to watch because you see Clark really never ages, but then you see other characters who do age.
Mhm.
And obviously some people you see as a young kid, they are eventually somebody.
Inside this one movie.
Yeah.
Inside this one movie,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, good.
Did Otto, did you see this right here from Batman Benator?
Okay. Thank you. Great. No, I haven't seen that, but thank you though. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? Which is great on DC streaming. I can't get enough of it. I'll watch it all day long. Is Harlequin.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
love
Roger
it.
turned me on
Oh my
to this.
god.
If
That's
this isn't
hysterical.
if this isn't a show that you don't laugh out loud with, and I don't like comedy, but this is laugh out loud funny.
And he's not kidding. He doesn't like comedy.
I don't watch
he
that.
won't watch funny movies with me.
I just don't. I just don't like comedy.
And you don't like surprises.
And I don't
I
like
don't
surprises. But so, when you first saw Harlequin, what was your like?
Oh, I just laugh. I'm like, this is genius. Like, you didn't expect them to be swearing like they were.
Right.
You know that? I mean, that one part where Harley's like, I'm done with the Joker, and then all of a sudden she goes back, and Poison Ivy's like, what the fuck just happened?
She breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah,
right?
she breaks the fourth wall. I'm like, that is genius. And I was hooked after that. I was like, Everett, you have to watch this. It's hysterical. Clayface is hysterical. Killer Shark is hysterical. The
King Shark?
King Shark.
King
yeah.
Shark.
King Shark.
Well, Poison Ivy though is the supporting character, and she steals the show.
She really does.
And she's got this talking plant who was
Yeah.
once a man,
Yeah.
who is kind of like the pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, it's
So,
like, feed me, Seymour.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like,
Justin, have you watched this at all?
Oh, of course. Season 2 actually just dropped today. Episode 1 of season 2.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Already?
We'll find out on Very Gary Comics.
I don't know. Every time I go on to our streaming service, up next
Yeah.
as soon as it's on
Yeah.
there.
Justin, Gary, have you watched that at all? Harlequin?
No, all right, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched much TV or anything since again this
This
collection. I've been so wrapped up in it. I haven't watched season 2 of Titans. I haven't watched Swamp Thing.
What?
Which I don't know if I even want to watch Swamp Thing because I know it's a one and done
So
thing.
good.
Yeah, I never.
That's
watched
the
it.
thing. I don't want to be like, why? I don't want to be disappointed. It's so good. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
but once you watch season 1 of Titans, how could you not want to see season 2?
it just didn't. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like it, huh?
I loved it.
Oh, all right.
I'm prioritizing different things, and then you know what happened? Me and my wife started watching Breaking Bad for the first time.
Here we go.
So,
As soon as the women get involved.
Yeah.
well, Breaking Bad took priority over everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Me and my wife are now binge watching Manifest.
Man, but, okay.
You've
I heard
seen
that,
that where
right?
the plane hits a lightning storm, and then when they land, it turns out they've been gone for 5 years.
Dude, I watched the first half of season 1 of that, and I was like, "F this!" I couldn't stand the main chick; she was a horrible actress. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
she's
got
not a very good actress, but
To me, it was
I love
right.
the premise. It reminds me of Lost.
Lost.
Right? Yeah, and that's
I'm
what
hoping they-
grabbed me.
I hope they shore it up a little better.
So last Saturday, I binge watched the entire.
Oh, jeez.
Don't even start. I mean, I fell asleep 20 minutes into the
How
first
can you?
episode. This guy's an idiot. It's
Of course
the
he is, but that's
stupidest
the
thing I've
best
ever
part.
seen
It's
in my
like
life.
Best
Oh,
part,
my
dude.
That's the best part.
She's
You know what? It's
amazing.
It's so crazy that this is happening in America. Like I grew up in the Northeast, you guys. I spent a couple years in other areas of the country, but to think that these guys, I don't want to tell you about it, but it's a train wreck. You got to watch the train wrecks, and it's just because you know what? It makes me feel a little bit normal.
I got
It makes me
I
feel
got my
like-
own life full of train wrecks.
Yeah, right. Gary, did you watch it?
Yeah, we watched that in like 3 days, 2
Yes.
days.
I'm telling you, Justin, are you done with it?
Yes, we just finished it up earlier this week.
Right.
And it's just funny because it's like when it happened, I mean, it was only a couple years ago that I don't want to ruin parts.
Right.
So, but the fact that like none of us knew about this, and I had to explain it, and I feel like I explained this to like my wife is like, we live in this, we live in New York, the New York, New Jersey area, all three of us. You
Right.
know, you're in Connecticut, I'm in Jersey, Gary's in New York. So it's like we get all New York news. We're not getting Oklahoma news or like Florida news that
Running
these
for
people.
governor in Oklahoma.
Yeah, like you had no idea, like, and
then
even
people
president, like,
Believing him, and he's walking around with his 6-shooter, and like it's just crazy. And
I do want to go back to Tiger King, but Peter DeLuca has a really good question. Besides Golden Age, what's the one Batman book you would get if you could? That one right next to Otto over there.
Oh my God, that was a setup. That was plans. Here's you know what? If I could get any Batman book, you know, and I wanted you guys to say this for all of the people that are listening to me for the first time. I'm an X-Men fan first and foremost, right? I love the mutants, I love X-Men, I love Wolverine. But before anything else, I used to dress up as Batman as a kid. Like Batman 66 and Batman to me was phenomenal. But I was talking to, I think, like the Big To Do and Justin and Rocket Comics at Baltimore, and we were talking about books that, you know, are something that you would want. I would want in my collection the first Robin. If you could say, you know, besides the Tech 27 or whatever, like what book could you get? I would want the first Robin. That's a huge book for me. It's a huge book for everybody, but
yeah,
that's the book that I would go after. So
my personal grail, you know, Tech 27, Batman 1, none of that stuff counts, is the first Red Hood. That's mine.
Oh, good book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That book is insane, even like a 1.0 or 1.8.
Yeah. What's it
It's
at a
so
1.0?
expensive.
Oh, it's like, even at like a 1.0, it's like a 2K book.
I bet it would be 2K, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like he's wearing a bag over his head.
Yeah, the original Red Hood, you know. So yeah, that's pretty
Justin, let's both answer this one. I'm pretty sure you have Golden Age. For me, my best Golden Age book is right. What is your biggest Golden Batman key? Mine's the Batman 16, first Alfred in a 7.0.
Mine is my Batman 42 first Catwoman cover in Batman in a 7.0.
That's the one where she's peeking around the corner.
Yeah.
That cover is awesome. I know they did like the homage. Was it Adam Hughes?
No, Art Germ on the Catwoman.
Art Germ.
Yeah.
But the original is awesome.
Right.
It's just awesome. Like you guys don't have gold. You guys don't do Golden Age Batman, right?
I don't really buy the Golden Age stuff.
That's where I'm at now for my books. I'm in under 100.
If I had your money, I might buy some. But
Right. But I got to tell you this. When we were at Terrificon, shout out to Mitch Halleck, who was on 3 Men in a Basement last week. We had a great time.
Definitely go back and watch that on Rewind, you guys.
Yeah,
that was a great hour conversation with the promoter of Terrificon, which maybe we should touch on after this Terrificon. But go ahead.
Well, no, this is what I was going to say, because when I was at Terrificon, I think it was like Saturday afternoon or whatever. I mean, Justin comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, I just bought a big book," and everybody has different Comic-Con things that they like to do. Like, you know, as comic book collectors and Comic-Con goers, we like to feel it out. Some people like to make deals on Sunday. Some people go for the kill on Friday. Some people don't buy big books. Some people go for SIGs. And I know Justin's habits. And Justin typically does not buy big books at big cons, okay? Because, you know,
it's all about the signatures and
he's all about signatures and like that. So, you know, I know my friends pretty well. But he comes up to me and he is beaming. And I'm talking like beaming. Like, I just bought a big book at a great grade. And blah 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 blah, and he's just that, and I'm like, dude, let's see it, you know. And he goes, you got to see it, look at it, you got to take a look at it. It's a 7.0, and the book's got to be from what 50, Justin?
1945.
1945.
What is it?
It's the first Silver Age Catwoman.
No, first Catwoman on cover in Batman.
Catwoman on cover. Okay, right.
You want me to go grab it? I'll go grab it.
Grab it.
All right, I'll go grab it.
Okay. So, Gary, according to Mitch at Terrificon, you're going to have the best spot at the casino.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, right? That was good.
Friend of the show.
I hope. This will be my third year there, and I've upgraded. After year one, I had a two. Did I see you my first year there? Yeah. I had 2 spots in line, and
yes,
I was right across from like a Funko guy. Do you remember that? My first
I do remember that.
I remember that show, that aisle was fucking packed.
Isn't that where one of the artists came up to buy books from you? It was like
Jason Fabic, man.
Yeah, Dave Fabic, yeah.
Yeah. So that year, me and my buddy Juan, who does the shows with me, it was slow Saturday, like 11 o'clock, 11:30.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Let me run and grab us lunch because we were slow. And I said, yeah, good idea. We had to crawl under our table. Do you remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
So he ran and got us like pizza or something. He came back and I was standing working. He put the food down. We didn't sit down for like 6 hours, I think, just straight. It was nonstop. Yeah. And last year there were lulls, big lulls. And I don't know if it was my location or the fact that everyone.
You had a good location. You didn't like that?
I didn't like my location.
No, you didn't like the end cap, huh? I thought that was a good spot.
Well, I loved the end caps. I didn't like where I was.
Yeah, no, I like.
But I will see this year. I'm looking forward to it.
Where do you want to be? Everett will put a word in for you.
Yeah, really. I hope Mitch is watching our show right now.
Pick your spot.
Mitch. So, Justin, before we talk more about Terrificon, Justin, did you get that book?
Of course.
Oh, look at this, you guys. This is pretty.
So this is 19. Actually, no, it's 1947. Batman 42. First Catwoman cover in Batman.
Look at that.
That's pretty.
That is dope.
And 7.0.
7.0.
Jesus.
Good Christmas.
And I do want to just crack. I just want to
get
send
a
it
book from 2019 to be looked at.
8.5 off white to white.
Yeah. Justin, would you crack that?
No, the only thing I want to do is I do want to send it in for a reholder because you could see down here that white page. That's the paper that they put in the middle.
Oh,
Do they have a special label for something like that?
No, you just send it in for reholder.
I know, but does DC have any special labels?
No, just mine.
No. And I don't even want to talk about that because I don't even want to go down that if they ever do.
All right, take it easy.
No, I'm just saying.
They'll want to do
Look at
it.
his whole collection reslabbed.
I know.
Yeah.
It'd be the most expensive reslabbing ever.
Well, here's something you should know about that.
I'm seriously thinking about sending in my ASM 300
for the Spider-Man thing.
No, I want to get the Venom one.
The Venom.
Yeah.
Here's something. Just so you guys know, if you and then I'm going to get into Wesley, and then we'll go to Terrificon. If you make a big submission to CGC, let's say, and you want to do custom labels, you have to start your shipping pricing all over again because they consider it a whole different batch of books to ship back. So you're really not paying $5 for the label. You're paying $5 for the label and then $15 to start off shipping back if you're splitting up your invoice.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And then $2 on top for every single book.
Right.
So if you have 10 moderns, which all should be graded together and then sent back together, you're really getting 5 and 5 just because of the stupid label.
Yeah, but how many people other than Gary are sending 10 to 15 to 20 books to be graded at once?
Well, I bet Scott.
I think more than you think.
Yeah,
more than you think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll do.
Dude, you've seen some of these lines at CGC with guys in front of you, right? At the shows.
God. That's the first thing. Like, if you're going to talk about cons, and I learned this from Justin, if you're going to do online, do CGC right off the rip. Go to CGC right off the rip. Talk to their people.
Last year was great.
I'm going to go off on a tangent, but we have a question, Jess.
All right, so Wesley Campbell here. How do you recommend getting started selling comics? Get on Instagram.
Yeah.
The Instagram comic community is outstanding. That's actually how we all met each other.
Yeah.
Well, not Roger and Everett, but that's how that's how you met Justin, right? Justin?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. That's how we all met each other, is through the Instagram community. It's pretty strong. A lot of the bad seeds there have been kind of weeded out.
They definitely
have.
And
a lot of people are keeping an eye on them, so you know about them pretty quick.
Yeah. Just buy from people that you hear recommendations from. And when it comes to selling, sell to people that have a lot of rep.
Right.
And that should help you.
And I think one of the other things I did when I first started buying on Instagram is I would go to people I trust, like an Everett or Gary or some, say, hey, have you ever bought from this guy?
Yeah.
And are they legit?
Right.
You know?
You definitely know. But Justin, when Justin sells, because Justin's very good, and Gary, I know you do the live sales, but when you want to sell on Instagram, you want to hashtag certain stuff, right, guys?
Yeah, there's certain things you want to do. Comics for sale, comic book sales. There's all different, because that's really what people search for. I mean, even if it's not even, because obviously when you go on Instagram, you can't really search for, Action Comics 242 or 252 and a Batman 121. So you're really just searching for comic books for sale, and you're going to find tons of stuff. So that's how I do it when I sell stuff. There's about 4 or 5 different hashtags.
I actually have here the first appearance of Brainiac, a book that's on auto shortlist over there.
It really is on my shortlist. It's
No, but I do got to agree with you guys. The Instagram community has been phenomenal. I've been trying to sell a book forever, and I was going to try and raffle it. I ended up selling it last night to Erod. Just people are willing to help each other out. Like we're all in the same boat. We all collect. We all sell. We all, are looking out for each other. And I think the Instagram is where I meet the best comic people. Whether we are friends now, I mean, we started on Instagram. Even people that we meet at the cons and stuff, and walk up and meet them for the first time. It's all Instagram people that we.
Well, even like
I do want to get to JLS question, but Roger, you just touched on something that I never realized until I did start doing shows and how awesome it is when you have somebody come up to you and recognize you and you recognize their Instagram name.
Yeah.
Now you can put a face with the name.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just cool, man.
Yeah, at our swaps or at the Comic Cons, you're like, hey, you're so and so 54321. You're like, like, what's your real name? Like you start calling them by their Instagram name.
You do. You're like, look. There's the butcher right there. Exactly. My wife will be like, "Where were you?" I was at the bar last night at Mohegan. Who were you sitting with? I was like, I was with the butcher, JM. I was with Barry Gary, and it's so it's very funny. So I have 3 kids. I've got love them more than anything. But my youngest is Cristiano, and he's 8 years old. And he'll be like, "Who are you on with? Barry Gary?" Like he really thinks your first name is Barry and your last name is Gary. Okay,
it is.
Yeah, right. He's got his name for Nemesis Prime. We talk about that, and this is funny because I actually met Justin through Mike Mata and John, who are on Instagram. John not so much, but Mike is under X-Men 516, and we became pretty good friends. And Justin had his Nemesis Prime, and I couldn't fucking read it. And I'm like, Nemesis Prime, whatever. And Pat goes, no, that stands for this, and that stands for that, whatever. And I'm like, all right. And then finally, Justin's like, because of people like you, I had to change it up to actually use the actual letters, right, Justin?
Yeah, because it used to be like N3, M3, S1S. So I use like instead of E, I would use a 3, and instead of an I would use a 1 because it's just cool.
And I'm not that smart.
Creative.
As dyslexic as I am, I'm like, how am I
screwed up in dyslexic because the E was backwards.
No, I should have read it right then, Yeah.
So JLS Comics, do you consign? No, I don't. Every book I've ever sold has been mine. One time ever, I had books for Dennis for comics on Instagram. At New York Comic Con, I had some books for him just because he asked me to do it. And
I'm sure they were $5 books, right?
You remember those? Oh,
no.
You weren't there, man.
No.
Do you remember those? It was like an Avengers 7-0 or something. Avengers
was Stan Lee signed?
There was one that was signed with like 4 or 5 people, a Hulk 181, and like all time. But they were big books. Big books,
right?
Yeah, they were big books. So no, I don't consign. I just sell all my own stuff. Maybe someday. I mean, there's definitely money in it. And if it's something I don't have already on my wall, sometimes it's cool to have something different.
Yeah.
But
Gary, has your LCS reached out to you about any more collections? Would you take in another collection right now?
Oh, fuck yeah. But I won't go right now anywhere.
Oh, right. Agreed. I agree with you. So
yeah, so I have a few things. I have a few things in the works, but obviously we're just talking back and forth. Like, you got to be safe right now.
Right.
Even if they said it was like a Batman Golden Age collection, would you not walk in there with a
mask, gloves, safety glasses,
hazmat suit, Lysol spray,
and I'd be in there.
Yeah, you'd be in there digging. It's funny, Gary, when you start scouting out new collections, do you ask the people like certain questions? Like, and the only reason I say that is because I have my good friend at KC Golds and Collectibles, Fred Carter. When people say call him, they cold call him and they're like, hey, I have comics, I have coins and stuff like that. The first thing he asks them, and he says, has anybody else looked through this collection yet? And depending on what they say, he'll determine if he's going to go and look at this collection because, you got somebody that says, hey, I've got a huge X-Men collection, and you go through it and it's all modern X-Men and first Omega Red is gone, right? Like, so.
Yeah, so here, I'll give you a little, not insider information, but into what I do. I ask them the years, the titles, quantity, and I can't tell you how many times how many people say, oh, they're really old. They've never been opened. They're still in their bags. They're still in the bags they came in. Like, well, first of all, they didn't come in bags, And if they did, like an X-Force 1 or some stupid thing like that.
Yeah, right.
But eventually, I usually get to, has anyone looked through it yet? And 9 times out of 10, nobody's had their little dick skinners in there, and I'm the first one, and I just go from there.
Okay, interesting. That's pretty interesting. All right.
But God, the 90s crap is just everywhere.
It's everywhere, right? And you always get, I have a huge collection. Maybe you want to go look through it.
Oh, I have the one where Superman died.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Great. Keep it.
Yeah, they only made a couple of those.
Yeah, save it for yourself. Maybe in your grandkids will appreciate that. Like that's crazy. But it's interesting stuff, man. Nice.
Top 3 best places to find buy comics besides eBay, Insta, and LCS.
Very Gary Comics.
Yeah, Very Gary Comics on Instagram, YouTube.
I think small shows.
Little shows.
I was going to say shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the smaller shows are where you can find the hidden gems.
Yeah.
Right. And what are the smaller shows, you guys? Just so people, the smaller shows
Justin's got the small ones.
Yeah, in New Jersey, they there's a guy who does three a month. He does one in Clifton, New Jersey, one in Wayne, one in Hasbrook Heights, and there's also one in Old Bridge. So those are like central to North Jersey.
Yeah.
So if you're in either North Jersey or even like upstate New York and you want to just take a drive down, it's usually on Sundays. You can just find it on New Jersey Comic Book shows.com, I think it is, or just Google it. And there's actually a website and it has the dates and where they are. And they're always at the same spot. Like Clifton's always at a community center, which Otto's been to.
Yes,
there's the one in Wayne is on Route 46. I forget what the route is, but it's like in a hotel, and Hasbrook Heights is on Route 17. And that one's in a hotel as well. And those are the best because that's only like, some of them are free. Some of them maybe $5 to get in, but you're not paying prices like going to,
and it's just people selling books.
Yeah, it could be one of us. You setting up a table.
We have one here. It's the last Sunday of every month at a VFW. It's $1 to get in, and they do free raffles, and it's just vendors from all over the state. They show up with boxes of books, wall books. Some bring wall books. Some have fillers, $5 books. Boxes.
Right. And a lot of these guys don't do the big shows. You know what I mean? They're not into the big
they'll
shows.
say that's where they make their money is these little shows, because you got guys that actually want to buy books, and you got vendors that actually want to sell books.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting quite a few whatchamacallits questions. Google.
Somebody liked your slick back hair.
You like my slick back hair.
You
guys can't go to the barber. I can.
You did not shave that today. You got stubbed already.
No,
you can definitely tell you're bald.
Oh, really?
I can see the shadow of where it would grow if you let it grow.
Right, it's 12 hours into it.
Sorry.
So yeah, look at that. Hey, look, I can't wait to see that. Your mullet's gonna make a mean comeback, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys are like, thank God Gary doesn't go to the barber. Yeah. So anyway, just one of those
barbershop.
Yeah, it's a barbershop.
My next live auction, I have nothing set. I'll tell you guys right now. We got almost we have 75 people in here. So my game plan, and I've told you guys before, I'm currently on Tomb of Dracula. I'm bagging and boarding Tomb of Dracula. So I'm on T. I'm on long box number 20 of probably will end around 22 or 23 long boxes. When I finish doing this, I'm going to open up want lists from people where you can email me if you're looking for stuff, because there's people that aren't going to conventions that want to get there, right? So there's people that have their want list. So I'm going to open up my email me your want list. I'm going to start on Instagram though. I'll give you the heads up. Like I'm going to start on Instagram because the DMs are really easy there. You can just straight up message me your list. This is what I'm looking for. Do you have it? Once I do that and get some people filled in with stuff they want, I'll probably do a live sale here on YouTube, but we're talking probably a month from now.
I think you're ready to go tomorrow.
Gary, you're talking about filler stuff? Is that what you mean? Like
I'm talking about $5 and up filler stuff, silver, bronze, as well as keys. So, Justin, you remember what we talked about this. You remember my New York setup?
Yeah.
I had 11 long boxes up front of $5 and up books, silver, bronze, modern, copper, $5 and up fillers, as well as keys, minor keys. So I'm going to be around 20. I think I'm going to be around 23 box. Oh no, 23 or 24 long boxes of that stuff. So if you're looking for like Silver Age Thor or, something like that, I'll take lists or keys. I mean, I do have my keys are still there, but I haven't even looked at those. I haven't looked at my box of keys since the swap.
Jesus.
Because I've been if I turn the camera around, I've been rolling in. I've been slammed.
But you guys got to understand though, these not the swaps, the live auctions and stuff like that. Like, shout out to the Lords when they do their auction. The NY Warriors do it. Gary did it. We've done one or two. It is a hot, not mess, but it's controlled chaos because.
Mine was a mess.
And I got books I didn't even buy.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
And someone asked earlier about the best place to buy, and we said Instagram, but I also think those auctions are a great place as well. You can get some, whether it's NY Warriors or Lords of the Long Box or Gary. I mean, you guys really do auction off some good books, and they're great prices. You guys you're there to sell them, and you're kind of, okay, I'm going to auction this off. You get what you get for it.
What does Justin like to say about his books? When at the swaps and stuff, they are priced.
They're priced to sell.
Price to sell, yeah. Price to move.
Price to move.
I like to tell people at the shows when they ask me why my prices are better than other vendors, I say because I'm not running a museum.
Right. Oh, that's funny though, because and I will say that real quick. I know we have. Let's answer that question real quick before.
Okay, what's up, guy? Johnny Rutt, what's up, guys? Gary, in your opinion, what Thor book is better to get because of the Jane Foster being in the new movie? So, what you guys love to say on Lords of the Long Box is the market will dictate the book, right? So, the What If 10 is the much more expensive book than the Thor #1. Justin?
Yeah, go. What If. Absolutely the What If.
Yeah. And 100%. Speaking of What If, I have a What If 10 in one of my boxes here I have to do an unboxing for. I'm going to do a video. That'll be out like next week or something. But cool. I do have the What If 10.
Right, but listen, before there was rumors of this, that was a $10 book.
$10. I used to sell that in my live sales on Instagram for $10.
$10. Nobody cared. Yep. Nobody cared. Then all of a sudden, Jane Foster's going to hold the hammer. Boom, $100 book, if not even more. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Let me see. There was a question that I had.
Here's one. What's the guy's name in Jersey again who does the small shows?
Yeah, I gave it to Peter. I dropped the link right there. It's like I said, if you go right on that website, it'll actually show you where they're located, where the shows are. Unfortunately, obviously, everything right now is delayed,
shut down.
Yeah. But no, they're great shows. The one in Clifton is free to go, and the one in Hasbrook Heights and Wayne are like $5 because it's they obviously have to pay for the hotel space, but they're usually the same vendors. If not, there's a new vendor here and there. But I would like to set up one day, to be honest. I don't mind doing it for 8 hours
or
cheap.
Swap. I mean, let's face it. I don't know if you guys know, but on 3 Men in the Basement, we've held 3 swaps.
Yeah.
2 in Connecticut, 1 in Jersey. Once this whole thing lifts, if there's not a show soon, let me tell you something. If this thing ends tomorrow and there's no show within the next month, we'll do a swap. Because I know everybody is itching to get out. Everybody's itching for their books. Everybody's itching. So the next 3 Men in the Basement swap is going to happen in Connecticut. We're talking about a spot. I've already reached out to my friend John Petray, who's running a brewery called Phantom Brewing. So shout out to him. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. He's a great brewer, but we're going to make it happen. And so we've already been talking about it. So the 4th 3 Men in the Basement swap is in the works. And let's hope. I mean, the 2 shows I want to go to this year, big shows, are Terrificon in Baltimore.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right? I mean, I loved Baltimore. Like, Baltimore was so much fun for me because, one, I get away. It was a cheap plane ticket, and I just had a great time with all the people that I met. I met tons of people from the Comic Corps, Discovery Bay. We were able to use the Comic Corps' set up to go live and stuff like that. And we just met lots of people. We met Ink Jedi. We met Batholic. We met Stampede. I got this covered. And just to talk about how cool the community is, Justin, give a shout out to Mike and what he did for you guys for the CGC books.
Oh yeah, Strange Spaceman on Instagram. One of the his name's Mike. He's in the Comic Book Fiend Club. So, and Gary knows this. On-site grading in Baltimore is one of the best things for the reason to go to that con.
Yeah.
That Sunday, I picked up my modern books in the morning, and I still had Economy, which is the next tier. I checked every 2 hours. I was there at 10 o'clock. I was there at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I was like, you know what? I just can't stand around here anymore, like waiting for these books. They're not going to come. I'm walking up the escalator. Mike's coming down. Mike's like, "Oh, are you going down to see? Are you going down? Or no, you going?" I was going down the escalator. He was coming up. He's like, "Oh, are you going up to CGC to get to check on your books?" I was like, "Yo, man," I was like, "I've been checking every 2 hours pretty much." He's like, "Listen, I have to be here till the end of the show." He's like, "If you want, I'll pick up your books." It was only like it was like 3 books, and I go, "Really?" And I was like, "I've never met Mike. I've been following him on Instagram probably for at least 2 years." And he goes, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I'll pick him up for you, and I'll ship him out the next day." He's like, "Because I got to take a late flight." So I go, okay, and the books that were in there were one of yours, Otto. It was an older, I want to say it was an older X-Men book.
Yeah.
It was Your House of Secrets, 92.
Yeah, right.
I had a really early Flash. I think it was like First Trickster. And the biggest book was my Batman Adventures 12. So, whatever those grades were, I mean, that's easily like, maybe $2,000 just could have been right out the door. He's like, yeah, I'll pick them up for you. So at like 5:00, and I had left because I had to drive back to Jersey from Baltimore. He calls me while he's in line at CGC. He goes, listen, CGC wants you to just verify that I can take these books. So he hands the phone over. I say, this is me. I gave him the invoice number and everything because I knew it. I had it on my phone, and they gave him the books. Very next day, he goes, what's your address? Ships it to me. And within 2 days, I had him ready to do our live unboxing on Friday.
Right.
That's awesome.
All I had to pay for, it was great. He didn't charge me for anything but obviously shipping, which was a medium flat rate. And that's just how great this community is. And like you said, the fact that we were able to jump on Comic Cores, live shows, this community has always been so grateful to everyone. If you're good in the community, it comes back to you.
It definitely comes back to you.
Good karma, definitely. And I mean, here it is with us, like you and me, Otto. We were in Baltimore.
Yep.
We could have gone anywhere to eat. We went to the place right across the street.
Yeah, this is a good story. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
like
that the bar where there's an upstairs and a downstairs?
Maybe.
We didn't make it past 3 feet from the bar, so
Yeah.
we walked in and just had right. But this is a great story about how we hooked up with.
Yeah. So this is obviously what happens when you're at the right place at the right time. We literally walked across the street from where the convention center is. We're sitting there. We're having, after whatever Saturday show, we're having drinks, we're getting food. All of a sudden, TiVo sends a message to us, and it's like our backs, like a picture from our back. Yeah. And I show Otto the phone, and I go, Otto, I was like, someone just took a picture of us, and we got sent
it to TiVo.
And who it is the guy who owns Rocket Comics and the owner of the LCS in California, Comics, Tunes, and Toys. Yeah. We start having a good conversation. We're just kicking it, blah, 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 back and forth. All of a sudden, they're like, yeah, we're having dinner with someone. And who walks through the door? Greg Land.
And Greg Land is huge.
And we're like, okay. So we're all just talking. We had a drink. We took pictures, and, they had their dinner. But that was our first introduction to Rocket Comics. And that's what happened. And
those guys are all the way on the West Coast. They're in California. Yeah. I mean, I got a book from Mike today. I'm going to unbox it. I know what it is, but I'm going to wait. But you know what? Here I am buying a book from Southern California. Like, if it wasn't for the Instagram community, it would have gone by the wayside or whatever. So, I mean,
that also speaks volumes to how good the Baltimore show is.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Agreed.
This guy from Southern California flew up to Baltimore. Right?
Yeah.
To take care of stuff, to get work done, to do with CGC and with other vendors and whatnot.
Yeah.
Baltimore is a tremendous show. Last year was the first time I missed it in years, and all you guys are there.
Exactly.
I wasn't there, Gary.
Oh, all right. Two of you.
All right, the two of us.
What's funny is if I had gone, I would have had your shirt, Roger. So
that's right.
Yeah, and a mug. And
a pint glass that I collect.
And a pint glass.
Yeah. I do have the pint glass. It's ready to go. I don't have any shirts.
Yeah, nice.
You said small? No, medium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll fit in a medium. All right.
Yeah. So I am really, and I'm sorry, I'm really looking forward to Terrificon. And
yeah, let's bring it all the way back to Terrificon. Go ahead.
Let's bring it all the way back to Terrificon. I'm really looking forward. I hope it happens. And to me, it's just been an absolute blast. And I know I'm not going to say it again, but we had the promoter on. We talked about stuff. He said, Gary will have the best table. Told us some great stories. And my favorite story that he told, that I've been talking about this, is how he talks about Chaz Palminteri, who has nothing to do with comics, but wants to come to his show. Books. He's talking about his funny books. And Mitch is telling the story, and he's like, Chaz Palminteri calls him, and I guess he says, hey, I want to come to your show. And he goes like, what, you want free tickets or something? And he goes, no, I want a table. Just give me a hotel room. He goes, Chaz Palminteri wants to come to Terrificon and, come to my show, and all I got to get him is a hotel room. It's fine. And then that was when Capullo and Snyder were there.
Yeah.
And that's when metal was really hot. And Palminteri looks at Mitch and sees this huge line for Capullo and Snyder. I mean, there's 300, 400 people. He goes, who are these guys? The Beatles? And it was just a great story.
Yeah, he says, no, they're artists. He goes, all these people in line for the funny books?
The funny books, right? So, Gary, how many years have you done Terrificon?
This will be year 3. So I was told, okay, I'll be honest with you. Terrificon was the first real convention I sold at. I did a couple small ones, but Terrificon was the first real one. The only reason I did it was because Jason Fabic was going to be there. The only reason. So I was scared
about that.
I was so scared because I'm like, I've been selling on Instagram for a while at that point. I was doing small local shows at that point, and like I had to invest like $1,000 to buy this space to try to sell comic books. And who the hell am I?
Right.
So Gary, goddammit.
Being in line, it was just unbelievable. And then on day 2, I got in line for Jason Fabic before the doors opened. He was an hour late. Met him, bought my original artwork from him. I have a Batman from him, which was my goal of the weekend. Selling books. Like I wanted to get an original piece from Jason Fabic. So not only did I get I had the piece, that was my grail for the weekend. Jason Fabic comes to my booth later that day to pick up like a Dark Knight Returns book 3. And it was like a $40 book. I just gave it to him. He's like, no.
The conversation with Gary is like, screw you, dude. Jason Fabic just walked up to my table.
Yeah, like, he goes, no, I have the money. I'll pay you. I'm like, I know you have the money. I just handed you how much of it. Don't worry about it. Take the book. It's fine. And, he hung out for like 10, 15 minutes, was talking about Jeff Johns. 3 Jokers was just teased about. So he was talking about that because we already knew he was on it with Jeff Johns. I mean, that's how long it's been since that book, has been in the works. But, and he hung out, got a picture with him. He liked my picture on Instagram because I tagged him in it and he was in it and we were bullshitting. I would love, and that's why I asked when you had Mitch on.
Yeah.
I asked specifically for Jason Fabic. He's my favorite artist right now, and I don't think it's close. He is so good and such a nice guy that I'd love to meet him again.
Yeah, so guys, just so you know, I'm going to have Mitch and I have been talking. I'll have him on again real soon. He kind of says his kind of thing when we got, at least what I got out of him is like, you guys tell me who to invite. You guys know who all the new artists are,
right?
And stuff like that. I will get him. I mean, Mitch is very classic. He knows the older guys. He's been around those guys, So, like I know Justin brought up. Justin, who did you bring up?
Jeez, I can't remember.
Was there a couple girls?
No. I mean, he's bringing Tyler Kirkham's coming this year,
Tyler Kirkham, right? Which is big.
Yeah,
and that's the West Coast
so
guy. Many. So I want to do. This is a very funny story. So we did a live show from the hotel floor, which we've all talked about. And
hold on, time out. I got to stop you.
Okay.
Otto's talking about Terrificon in the hotel because Terrificon takes place in Mohegan Sun Hotel and Casino. We're on whatever floor in the lobby of the hotel of the casino doing 3 Men in a Basement live, which you guys should all sub up to that channel again. These guys are awesome. But go ahead, Otto, because you got to set it because this is really important.
So on every floor of Mohegan Sun, there's a centerpiece where there's like there's a couch.
It looks like a living room.
It's a living
really
room.
Does look like a living room.
And then you have 3 hallways of hotel rooms. So the living room then leads. So you come off the elevator. There's this living room, and you have these 3 hallways that go to 100 floors. So I've said this a million times over, and I love saying this. I looked at my wife before this, and I looked at Roger, and I looked at Justin, and I said, we're going to do a live show from Terrificon. And they're like, what do you mean you're going to do it from the con? I go, no, we're going to do it in that living room area. And my wife looked at me, she goes, are you crazy? And I'm like, yeah. So I went and I started setting up, and I set up my lights and my camera. And she goes, what if they shut you down? I go, Andrew, we're in a casino. The minute I start setting up lights and a microphone, if security's not here within 5 minutes, forget about it.
Yeah,
right?
they don't care.
They don't care. So I set it all up, and it was like the second year, and I tell Gary about this, and he's like, are you nuts? And I'm like, yeah, but let's just do it anyway. So we're all sitting in 4 couches, and I'm not a modern guy, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know all the modern stuff. But people are coming off the elevator. Like we had a bridal party. I should have brought them on.
Yeah,
to walk by. We're sitting listen to this. We're sitting there talking about like Transformers. And here comes like 10 girls from a bridal party. And we're like, hi, girls. You want to talk about comic books?
Decked out to the max.
Decked out to the max. And it was just pretty funny.
They probably would have too.
They definitely would have. Next bridal party.
You had a guy who had his own podcast. We brought him on so you can plug that.
Yep, we could do that. And then
you got a picture. Anytime someone came off to set the tone, anytime someone came off the elevator, everyone would be like, hey, friend, did you go to the con today? What did you think? Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Like anybody. And so most people are like, no. And they just walk away. We had a couple respond.
Right. So who comes off the elevator? I'll let you guys talk about this. I don't know who this guy is. I'm sorry. I didn't know at the time. Now he's a good friend of the show, but I didn't know at the time.
Long time friend.
He's a long time friend. So Justin, Gary, go ahead. Tell us the story.
Go ahead, Justin.
So yeah, so we're talking, and basically, Otto does this spiel. Hey, how's it going? Did you go to the con today? And the guy goes, yeah. And me and Gary know exactly who it is. It's Tom King, the current writer of Batman. And our faces blow up and light up that the guy's on our floor. Of all the floors and all the rooms that he could be, he's literally just getting off the elevator right by us. And, we said, hey, do you mind sitting down? Totally nice guy. Sat down for 15 minutes with us. He made fun of us, which was that was great. He told us some stuff that was going on. We asked him about
breaking news.
Yeah, we asked him about New Gods. He kind of was, a little teases there, here and there. We kind of asked him what was going on with the Batman Catwoman series that him and Clay Mann were doing. And he's like, I'm actually meeting with Clay for dinner because Clay was there that year as well.
They were waiting in the lobby for him. And he's like, all right, there we go.
He's like, I just came up for Advil and now I'm sitting on a YouTube channel. And then, so we do have that video on the 3 Men in the Basement channel. You can go and check it. But then what did he say at the end, Raj? I forgot. He was like, just don't watch. Or something.
Yeah, he goes, this is great, YouTube. He goes, don't just watch, fucking subscribe.
Yeah. We love it. So that just, and this is going to be the last thing I
say. Wait, Justin.
Yeah.
What was the classic moment of that whole interview?
Oh, the fact that he made fun of me?
Otto. No, I know.
Otto asked him.
Oh, yeah.
Otto asking him who his favorite artist was.
I'm sorry, guys.
So he's like, as you're coming up in the business, who was your favorite artist? And he's like, artist.
Yeah.
He goes, have you ever seen me draw?
Right. And then
I have
somebody
an
else
original Tom King sketch.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody elbows me and goes, "You idiot! He's the writer." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, that was great.
My bad. Hey, you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
You don't know what you don't know. So
But
that's all I'm going to
if
say.
Roy Thomas walked down the hall, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Roy, I would definitely know and be like, "Hey, there's Roy." And this is the last thing we want to talk about Terrificon, and we'll talk about some other things. But the best part about Terrific, these people are all there. I mean, I'm a huge Flash Gordon fan. Sam J. Jones is one of my heroes as a kid. I remember with Everett, my major now, but I remember getting on the elevator and there's Flash Gordon standing right in front of me, and I'm like, "Flash Gordon, I live and breathe." He's like, "Yes, so where are you going?" He goes, "To go lift weights," and I'm like, "God damn, you are still the man, Flash," And we talked about other stories about people walking around.
I mean, you talked about Chad Palmieri. He was on the same floor.
Floors up.
And
or how about Justin? When we're checking in, Justin, tell that story.
About
our two boys.
When we were checking in, and we're just standing there, and who's coming? Who will go walk by? And I go, "Oh, do you know who that is?" And he was like, "No." And I go, "It's Ryan Stegman and Donnie Cates."
Oh,
and they go walking outside to, they're going to have a cigarette. So I was like, "Let's go out there and follow." And I was like, "No, I don't want to be those people." Like, so
I was that guy, though. I was that guy.
Totally that guy.
I was totally that guy. So I was watching him have a cigarette, and I waited until they figured her cigarette, and I went up to Cates, and I'm like, "So, you ever heard of what did I say? I think
Cosmic Ghost Rider."
Cosmic Ghost Rider, and he's like, "Oh, great, another fanboy." But Stegman was really cool. Donnie Cates was really cool at the time. We took our pictures, we talked. But you know what?
That's what you get at Terrificon.
That's what you get at Terrificon. Right?
That's how I ran into Roy Thomas right there in the lobby.
Yeah,
Roy, can I have a picture? Sure. I mean, his handler was like, "What?" Like they don't want you taking pictures when they know they can get money for it. But
right,
I right in the lobby there. He's walking by. I'm like, "Roy, can I get a picture?" Sure, come on. He puts his arm around me. He's a small guy.
Yeah, Roy is a small guy. But there's his wife was with him too.
Yeah.
And, John Samino was his handler. So Roy Thomas is going to be at Plastic City Comic-Con. That's sponsored by Keith Gleason.
That.
I know that's August 1st. That's a one-day con. That's something that the 3 Men in the Basement are going to, just so you know.
We're infiltrating.
Yes, we are definitely infiltrating.
We're going to do some live shows there and everything.
Absolutely. Keith has given us a table to do a live show, and there's actually a luncheon with Roy, so hopefully we can do that. So I hope the con season starts. You guys, I'm an optimist. I mean, we don't even want to talk about it, but anyway. So anyway,
we'll hope, right? I mean, I cannot wait for Terrificon. Last year, you brought up Cates and Stegman. Me and the Butcher, we ran into him at the bar. I think Saturday night.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Who was
Jake
putting him back more, the Butcher or Cates? Who was putting him back more?
Well, Kate, I don't know. I know Jay bought Kate's beer, and he said, "I'm not going to sleep with you." You know, that was his thank you, but I'm not going to. You know.
Yeah.
But Terrificon is different than any other con because you don't have to leave. You're there, and so are the artists, so are the writers. All the talent are in the same building as you the entire weekend.
They can leave if they wanted. There's nothing outside the property.
I mean, you run into people and the thing too about Terrificon. So a lot of these other shows, you're sitting there, and if you're there for the weekend, you're eating like concession food and hot dogs and whatever. When you're at Terrificon, if you're ready to walk out of the con to go grab a bite to eat, there's 4-star restaurants throughout the building.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can go sit down and get a real meal for lunch and then come back to the convention when you're ready. You don't have to even step foot outside.
Hell, there's two or three bartenders at Mohegan Sun that have 3 Men in a Basement shirts.
That's right, they do.
They're my boys, and they're bartenders like me. So I was like, "You guys want some 3 Men in a Basement shirts?" So Terrificon might be here, in Mohegan, and there might be a bar that we hang out at, and there's my buddy wearing a 3 Men in a Basement T-shirt or something like that. One of the bartenders. So it's just a really cool thing. I hope everybody can make it. If you need any details, go to terrificon.com. Message me or whatever you want to do, but it's a great show. I'm hoping it's happening, and it is happening as of now. So I do want to say that. So
yeah, and I think Mitch will be good to pull the trigger when the time is right.
Yep, absolutely.
And if you guys go back and watch 3 Men in a Basement's live show, I think it was about a week ago or so, when you had basically the promoter, the producer of Terrificon on for the whole hour.
Yep.
And he's just answering questions. That was a great show. And I'm excited to see him get back on as the show gets closer.
Yeah,
I want to see some names and hear some names of some people that are going to be there. And he made a really good point. He said, I don't want to go out there and almost show off who's coming to the show in August, because how many cons had to cancel, so he doesn't want to go toot his own horn. He's in August, and fingers crossed that come August, come the end of May, middle or end of May, everything's back to normal, hopefully. Right. And by June 1st, July 1st, we're back into the swing of things and living our normal lives.
Right.
So August, let's hope. Shit, I'm still nervous about New York, man.
And I start to think that, with all these cons canceling, he may, his talent may bulk up. Like, these guys are itching to get out there and do cons. And, people that might have been skipping Terrificon because of, New York or Baltimore or whatever might say, crap, I just missed, Emerald City, and we missed this, we missed that. Might as well go to Terrificon.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
That's going to be my first show that I'm actually selling at as of right now.
Right.
It's going to be my first con this year as well.
Yeah.
Everything got canceled. East Coast Comic Con, WonderCon got canceled. The two smaller shows here in New Jersey, ZapCon, which is a stores they do their own con. Super New Jersey Comic Expo, which was supposed to be last month, that got canceled. So yeah, I mean, the only thing else is New Jersey's Garden Comic Fest, which is in the end of June, if that happens. But as far as a big time show, Terrificon, and I'm already booked. I already have my hotel. I'm excited.
Nice. I want to give a shout out to, I see Stampede is on 215. Yep. Very cool. We've got Two Brothers Comics. Gary, were you slated to go to East Coast Comic Con?
Yeah, man. My spot, I would have had the same booth. They're refunding everybody. I still haven't gotten my money back, but they're refunding everyone.
So you're getting a stimulus check.
Man. What'd you say?
Like a stimulus check.
Yeah.
For comics.
Let me tell you something, you guys. I was supposed to go to Universal in 2 weeks, and I started paying that off. Universal for a family of 5 for 4 days. Oh, when that money comes back, God damn it! Come on.
You know what? When that money comes back,
look at that! Yeah, I just gotta hope they don't break the Brainiac news, and it's $500 to more dollars more. Like, Jesus.
So, you want to hear something crazy? I was talking to the dude from New York. So I emailed New York to get on the list to vend again next year. And if you guys remember last year, I mean, Justin, you do. I had a 10x10 space at New York in line. So I had a corner next to me and a corner next to me. So I was sandwiched in between. I was kind of invisible. And Jay, please get your 2 cents in here, because he's still in the chat. But Justin, was it easy to miss me? Because I'm gonna come back to something like.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Because you exactly where you were. It wasn't even like you were next to somebody. Like, so
right.
It was exactly like you said. Corner. It was corner person corner instead of corner, maybe person corner, or at least two people. But yeah, you were really in like the tightest spot. And thank God, like a lot of people in the IG and YouTube community, went out of their way to like find you and but sometimes that's good because sometimes you're like that diamond in the rough.
Yeah. So the reason I bring it up is that booth cost me like $19.50 for that.
Jesus.
Holy Christ.
So I was talking to the New York rep, actually literally on the phone. I emailed him and he called me back like a couple hours later because they're at home doing nothing. He's catching up. So I asked him, can I do something next year, this upcoming year? And do I have to be in line? And I want to be in the comic book section because at New York Comic Con, when you walk in the front door, you make a right. That's where everything is. When it comes to the comic books, it's a huge place, but to the right are where all the books are. He said, I can't promise you a corner and I can't promise you can be in that comic book section because I've got guys. Yeah, Jay. Because, I've got guys that I've been working with for 12 years now that have earned that spot. So I said, all right, well, what if I took two spots? I said, what if I took a corner and an inline? He said, well, if you took a corner and an inline, I would be able to move you up a little bit. And I'd probably be able to keep you maybe not right in that pocket of comic book people, but just on the outskirts. And I told him, I said, I'm down, but I want to be able to look and see comic books. I don't want to see Funko Pops or toys or pocketbooks or any. When I look across my booth, I want to be able to see another vendor.
Yep.
So I have to email him back, but I think I'm going to take a stab at a corner booth and an inline booth at New York. Yo, the price is like $4,200.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you sleeping at the Javits Center then?
Yeah.
No, that's a whole other fiasco. But so I think I'm going to do that because I think that little bit of a better location will bring back much more than that, especially with what I have right now. And especially because I'm only going to be able to sell at one other con.
Yeah.
So I think bringing my full load to New York, I think could be huge. So, and then I want to do a video and tell me what you guys think about this of actually setting up for New York and posting it Wednesday night, the day before New York Comic Con, actually record setting up for New York Comic Con.
Right. Because it is a shit show, right, Garrett, to set up for New York?
Dude, setting up and breaking down for New York Comic Con is the worst. The worst. It's New York City. Like,
right. New York City.
You've got there. And they give you 30 minutes on the street to unload your car and load it into the Javits Center. 30 minutes. I can't do that.
No,
Call me
right?
up this year, Gary. I'll come from Jersey.
Hey, I might need you because I think I'm going to need Jay. I'm going to need somebody to help record.
Yeah.
Somebody to help load in because I have two hand trucks. If I really get a 10 by 20 space, I'm going to have a U-Haul with me.
Yeah. Holy Christ.
So it's going to be bad. And that's if you unload yourself. If you wait in line and have the union do it for you, there's guys that sign up at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and get in line and don't get unloaded till 5, 6 o'clock at night. And you're literally sitting in your truck waiting for your turn.
So you don't have to have the union unload for you?
No, you don't have to. What they do is you unload your stuff onto a pallet.
Yeah.
They wrap it and they bring the pallet to your space.
Okay.
Okay.
We're talking about 8 hours waiting for your turn.
Yeah.
Like people get in line at 2, 3 in the morning to
Oh.
get loaded in first. It's crazy.
That's insane.
That's insane. Justin, you go to New York every year. Do you go every day?
I go every day, and it's an absolute nightmare every year, and it's been getting worse and worse every year.
What's the allure then? Is it that
it's now becoming, because it's just now becoming that con. It's not even a comic thing anymore. It's an entertainment thing like San Diego Comic Con is. And for people who just want to check it off their bucket list, like you, yes. Okay. Like I would go to San Diego Comic Con, but I wouldn't bring a book. I would just literally walk around and say,
I would go so San Diego,
I'm done. It's off my bucket list. I went to San Diego Comic Con, but if I want to go to Comic Cons, I want to go to Baltimore. I want to go to C2E2. I want to go to Terrificon.
Yeah,
like,
and you know what?
And everything else, Heroes Con, MegaCon. Those are conventions for.
You know what? I would like to do Emerald City.
I would love to go to Emerald City.
I would love to do Emerald City. I would love to do C2E2. That's on my list. But I'll tell you, and that's no knock on that promoter, but it's not about comics anymore. And I know you're going to agree with me. Rhode Island.
Yeah.
We did Rhode Island twice, maybe. and that was it. And the problem
second year was the worst.
Second year was the worst.
First year we dressed the kid, we brought the kids, and
yes.
the
second first year was your first time
my
ever going
first
to a
time
con.
ever going to a
Then
con,
it was
right.
like, that's it, I'm in.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, the first year we went, we brought the kids, and it was cool. And then you could walk around. The second year we didn't bring the kids. We didn't have to worry about it. It was
Right.
the worst.
It was the
We
worst.
was shoulder to shoulder. We couldn't get in. When you got into a space, it was like no line was worth waiting for.
Right, and then you had to go over here. Like all the SIGs were somewhere. That's where I actually met Stan. I waited 3 hours. To meet
You had to
Stan.
go to like a different part of the building.
I had to go
and
to like
wait in line, so you couldn't even see people walking around in cosplay
Right,
waiting in line
and
for Stan Lee.
and I just had to do that whole thing. It was just a shit show, and more importantly, it was like $20 to park.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So you're paying for the tickets, you're paying for that.
I tried to buy some books there. It's like the guys, like Gary said, they were running museums.
Correct.
Nobody wanted to work deals. I'm like, you got that book? That's 20% higher than the going rate. And he's like, well, that's what I'm selling it for. Nobody wanted to make deals. I tried to make deals, and I couldn't. I left there not buying a thing.
Right. And it's funny because I'm at the point now where if I go to a guy on Sunday and let's say there's like I was after the first watcher for a long time. I finally got a nice book from Dennis for Comics. But I was after the first watcher and I wanted a decent grade. And a guy had it at a 5.0, which I thought was nice. And he was about 100 to 200 over GPA. So I came in on Sunday at like 2 o'clock and I said, hey, bud, I've been watching this book. It hasn't moved. I know GPA. The last sale was this. Joe, do you want to do that? And he's like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, what do you mean you're good?
Like, why would you want to bring the books back home?
He's like, no, I'm good with it. And I go, so what are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm like, so you're just a collector or you're just here to show off your books?
Showing them off, yeah.
Because, it's the last day and if you don't want my money, then fine. But that's when I realized it's like, you know what? Some people are just there
It's not worth the hoopla.
It's not worth it, right?
It's not worth it. You go to
Look who just popped into the chat.
Oh, look at that. An hour and a half late. Oh, thanks. He must not have gotten a notification.
I'll tell you, I didn't want to write in because you guys were talking about that on Lords. I knew you guys were going live through Instagram because you guys all post it, and I know your schedule. You guys are live on Lords every Wednesday night at 9 our time. Even on my submission, on my list there, what is it?
Subscription feed?
Subscriber list.
Yeah.
It never even showed you guys were live. I had to physically go to the channel.
Yeah,
Gary,
I'm
we've
in
been
that
having
boat too.
trouble with a lot of channels. The same thing happened when these guys went live the other day. I'd go on subscriptions, nothing. I had to go to the 3 Men in the Basement to actually see the video.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a note. Obviously, YouTube is just overloaded. Oh, a super chat over there from
Yeah. Feels bad for being late.
a few times tonight. You guys definitely want to go sub up there over at Lords of the Long Box as well as 3 Men in a Basement. Lords of the Long Box and TiVo. These guys, Justin and Otto, are on there almost weekly now. Yep. I mean, you guys are on there most of the time with Tim. A lot of MCU news, specs, talk comic books, Marvel news, DC news. Last Wednesday, you guys should go back and watch. I was watching the whole time. I wasn't really active in the chat because I was bagging and boarding. Was actually DC specs for, I believe it was TV and the movies.
It was
DC?
the long-term spec list for.
It was just DC.
Yeah, but listen, I want to just Gary, you were bagging and boarding a book, and it just happened to pop up on the long-term spec list, right?
I posted on Instagram.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
So, yeah, see, Tim didn't get a notification either, and then I don't even know. I doubt it was even in his subscriptions. You literally had to go to the channel to see we were live.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Even with like past shows, like even sometimes when Lords ends and I want to watch the replay just to kind of check out the live chat and hear how it sounds, it doesn't even show up that the video is processed and it's there. Like same like you said, I have to go to the Lord's channel, I have to go to the videos and see it.
Yeah, I think what Two Brothers are saying is right, that it's screwed up right now. There's something going on.
Yeah,
they're being slammed, man. Everybody is on YouTube. Have you guys paid attention to your Instagram feed, seeing how many people on the top of the list are live at any time?
Oh, there's like 3 or 4 now. Yeah. There's a lot of people live on Instagram.
Everybody's home.
Home.
They're making videos. Except for me.
Except for you.
I'm like the one essential person in this neighborhood that has to go to work every day.
The one essential guy that's got to be here.
Yeah.
Right? The one essential guy that needs to be here. Yeah, absolutely. Neat stuff. All right.
We got a few people in here. Superpower Review is in here. Robert Nunez from Chicago. What's going on? And again, guys, sub up to 3 Men in a Basement and Lords of the Long Box. You won't be disappointed. And the cool thing, and I always say this, is the handful of channels that I do subscribe to and I watch and I get involved, they all do something just a little different. So you're not going to get too much repeat information. You're not going to be wasting your time. You're always going to get something a little different from all of them.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And I tell you, what I see lately is just the production value is being shot up. I mean, Justin's video was just killer. Gary's stuff, he's posting the videos and stuff like that. So you know what? There's no reason to watch regular TV because it sucks because they're all talking about the same thing. There's only one person you can listen to, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And that's the Dr. Fauci, if I'm saying that right. But I'm not going to talk about
There's no sports. There's no nothing.
No, Michigan State's in the Final Four.
Doom and gloom. They lost in the first round.
Get out of here. Michigan lost in the final round.
Michigan State lost in the first round.
Michigan State are on their way.
Pay you $10.
Yeah, bet you $10. Done deal.
So I am gonna try to get an auction / live sale going. It's probably a month away. Again, I'm gonna take some orders for Wantless here eventually. Yep. Someday. I'm on Tomb of Dracula. I'm close, man.
You know what I'm finding is a lot of LCSs. First of all, Comics, Tools, and Toys in Tustin is doing a big sale, so I put that on Instagram. I think that a lot of LCSs are doing like appointment only. Like I got a call from my LCS today saying, "Hey, listen, I dug up some stuff," and that's because the new comic book stinks. This is a bad time for comics. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Diamond is in trouble. You don't want them to go to multi-distributors because that's what happened in the 90s. Yeah. I just hope we pull out of this. And I'm reading some good stuff right now. Manimal recommended The Hellions, which is one of the X books, which is great. I did read some crap, though, you guys. Oh, my God. I read this Nightcrawler story. It was awful. I read like 4 or 5 books of just crap, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. But I did find some good stuff, and I do like the Cable stuff for new stuff.
Strange Tales was good, too, right?
Strange Adventures.
Strange Adventures was really good by Tom King. Yes.
Yeah.
Strange Adventures was really good. I really enjoyed that. So
if you guys are just popping in late, I wanted to let everyone know that Everett still hasn't made the trade. I still have the book here. The Mr. Freeze is right there next to Roger. So we're working on it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Make the trade. Hashtag make the trade.
Hashtag make the trade.
I know. He's like, Otto, I'm rocking the jersey. I'm rocking your hoodie. Come on, get it in. I'm like,
oh, yeah. You like that video?
Yeah, you had the sweatshirt on the other day.
The sweatshirt on. Oh, my God.
Oh, you know what's funny about that video? That has been my most successful video so far.
Was the Hulk 181 in there, or did you already get that?
No, I already had that. This was... I don't remember.
A lot of ASM stuff. It was
like First Shocker.
Yep. But you made a great point, Gary. The books that you got at those grades are wicked affordable right now if you're going after Spider-Man keys, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Ra's al Ghul, Death of Gwen Stacy, Death of Green Goblin. Those were all in there. I am going to be shooting. I was going to do it tonight, but this has gone super long. I did not anticipate this. Sorry, guys. But I am going to shoot I have 2 more unboxing videos from CGC. And good news, if you guys don't know, CGC, even though Florida's shutting down, I think tonight at midnight, CGC will remain open because they are they ship their product, right? They're a mail order
they do
service.
everything electronically. There's no customer interaction.
Yeah, that's all.
All right.
Yeah, TiVo's, hold on, let me make sure that's right. But I have a modern submission I'm going to do a video on, as well as I think an economy or a value tier. I don't remember. But then I do have another batch of 5 books at CGC right now, like First Scorpion, First Kingpin, First Craven.
Great books.
First Blade.
Was there a First Gwen in there?
First Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, did he in that collection or no?
Yeah, it was. I didn't send it out because it was like a 4.0 maybe. So I didn't send it out. It's probably, what's that, 31?
Yeah, 35.
35
maybe.
Yeah.
Even the Cable now. Anybody who knows Spider-Man books.
That's a book. I think I've talked about this before. I might have done it on Jem's channel. That is not valued high enough for 2 major key first appearances with Harry and Gwen.
Interesting.
I think it is so undervalued.
31. There it is. Well, what's your pricing as far as what do you think is undervalued?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't. That's the one thing. I've bagged and boarded almost 20 long boxes and haven't priced a single book.
No. I'm saying for a Gwen, for like First Gwen, like you're saying, is like an undervalued book.
Oh, I think, what is it? 4 O's, 5 O's, or like 200 or 250, which I think is low, man. Yeah, okay, they're not. I don't think they're on the cover. You're just talking about Gwen
No,
Stacy and
It's like
Harry
a,
Osborn,
yeah, it's a terrible cover.
right? Harry Osborn, yeah.
Yeah.
Spider, right, guys?
What?
Hmm?
It's the spider, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just a red
with
cover.
Spider, and
cover.
it's all drawn.
Yeah.
I like the cover. Some people don't like it. I like it. I'll tell you, that's a book that's hard to find in super high grade with popping colors. I don't know if that red has ever been super bright, but I always feel like it's a faded cover.
Right.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
But I love that cover. That's on like, I feel like it's undervalued, man. I think there might be room on that book.
I hope so. I got one.
Dude,
That's
how's
another
your NSM
one.
collection, Otto?
I have an 8.5.
Yeah.
Really? In that book?
Yeah.
Good for you. How the colors look, bright?
Yeah, it's bright. I think it's actually an old label, to be honest. So it kind of,
Like original?
yeah. And they're all in like second generation, like not the
second gen.
newer ones,
All right.
but
Otto, what do you need for Spidey? Because I know you have a ton of them.
Yeah, for Spidey's, I need first Rhino.
I have it. Just saying.
Yeah, but there's an if clause. There's an if. You can have an if. I need first Rhino. I need first. I realized this today. I need first Lizard, which I forgot about.
I don't have that one.
And I need first Scorpion. And I think,
At CGC.
yep. Oh, great. Christ. So much for taking my kids to Universal next year.
You don't need to spend $1, bro. You have it right next to you. Don't you need this?
Oh my God. Look at that.
I think you need that, Otto.
This book taunts me right there. Now, can I tell you about that book? So I wasn't a fan, I'm not a fan of I don't know why, for some reason, as a Spider-Man villain, I'm not a fan of the Green Goblin. I'm just not.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Great
not a fan of the
cover,
Joker.
great villain.
Yeah, but so let's talk about that cover though. So when
Very disappointed.
when Bernie 1869, Shortbox Bernie, aka Pat Howe, was like, "How could you not like this cover?" And I'm like, "Well, why should I?" He goes, "It's got Ditko drawing the Hulk. It's got the Enforcers, who I really like. It's got the villain on the main cover, and it's an early Batman. It's an early Spider-Man key, and it's a Ditko cover." And all of a sudden, I'm like, "Dude, you're right. I should love this book." And now I covet it. You know what I mean? So
Well, Gary's got it.
yeah.
We can make a deal. I mean, I don't understand the hesitation.
Listen, I'm 2 hours into this.
Hashtag make the deal.
Happy hour started for me at 5 o'clock. I am not making rational decisions at this point. You know,
This is King of Golden State. This is the same guy who doesn't like comedy.
comedy. Yeah,
That's right.
right, exactly. So
Yeah, this is guys. We've been on for like 2 hours. I apologize for keeping you on this whole time, but
all right,
Yeah, we're having
No,
a
it's
good
good
time.
talk, man. It's good
Yeah.
chat.
good talk.
I mean, you want to pull the plug, you let me know. Otherwise, we can go a little bit longer. I don't know who's got work. Well, tomorrow's Saturday. I don't know if any of you guys.
Saturday, man.
I'm painting tomorrow.
I finally get a day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are there any questions in the live chat? Maybe you guys.
Yeah, if any of you guys, we have 70 in there. If you have any questions or if there are questions we missed, please.
Yep,
feel
I know somebody
free.
asked where 3 Men in the Basement from. We are in Newington, Connecticut. Justin's out of Jersey. David and Cave's out of Jersey. So the 3 Men, we're from the Northeast area.
Yeah.
So I know you
It
guys
originated in the Northeast and is making its way down to
yeah,
Jersey and
Jersey and stuff like that. Thunder House is asking me what grade is the Mr. Zero. It's a 4.5. It was a 3.5, but Rocket Comics pressed it up, and I got a full grade bump on it. So, yeah. So just so you see it. And
Could
it
you imagine what Rocket Comics could do with this?
oh
Yeah.
my God, I would want that book at a 5. Like
You
that,
would get it in a 5. I showed you the notes.
I know you did, Gary. My God, you sent it to me. Said like I'm waking up to Gary being like, "Make the trade, dude. Make the trade."
Hashtag make the trade.
Yeah.
No, I'm probably gonna send it. If you really don't want to do it, obviously you don't want to do it. But like,
No, I'm not saying I
I'm-
do. I'm not saying I don't want to trade it. I have cash. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So
I'm not looking for cash, bro.
see,
Looking
that's
for
it.
that
I knew you were going to say that. I knew I was going to say that. All right. So somebody says, Benjamin Cross says, what's the most expensive key issue you ever picked up? You guys want to talk on that real quick?
Well, for me, so I'll say the most how do I word this? The most money I've ever bought a single book for was the first appearance of Submariner in the Silver Age, FF 4, 5.
5. Yeah. 5.
I spent $2,000 on that
Okay.
with 100% intent to sell. That is
Okay.
not a book for me. I blame TiVo for that one too. I picked that up at last year's East Coast Comic Con. I was looking at a 2.0 and at like a 1.5, I think. and I ended up finding like a 3.0 or a 3.5. I don't even remember. So that's mine. But I have the intention to and 100% intent to sell. So I don't even know if that counts as a spending money on a key.
Well, it does spend money on a key.
My most expensive book was the one I showed off before, the Batman 42.
The Catwoman.
Yeah, that was a package deal. So we really didn't get into too much of that story. So that was It was a Batman 42. It was an 85, a 42, and a 35, and they were all CGC'd. The other two were like just filler Batman books for me. They were both 3.0s, and that was the third one. And it was a package deal so basically what I do is I put down the majority of the money to take home that at Terrificon, and then I paid off the other two books, in the coming months. But that was my most expensive book.
A lot of good dealers will do that. I'll tell you now, a lot of good dealers will let you put like a big chunk of money down and then, make some payments, make a payment plan.
Of course. And I think that has to
not everybody has like 2,500 liquid ready to go or want to do that.
Right. The biggest book I ever bought, well, I bought two big ones. But I think numbers wise, the most I ever spent was I bought my Hulk 181, which is a grail of my collection. It's at 1, or I have a 1A. I have a 9.2, and I did pay $3,200 for it. I paid $3,200 for it.
You're well ahead.
And I think I'm well ahead at this point, Gary.
Yeah.
I think I'm up to maybe $5,000 on that book if I were ever to sell it. But I'm not going to sell it, you guys. It's going to die with me, so it doesn't matter. So
I'm gonna sell it when you
all these guys joke about how they're going to just. So
help the kids with
they're going to help their kids buying their first car or something like that when I go. So, yeah. So that's
kids. I'll take care of his books.
Yeah, right. That's the biggest book that I ever bought. But you know what? It was a book that I've always been after. I was like, I could buy it at a lower grade. Some money came my way, and I was very happy about that. And it was an investment. But we'll see with it. So it is the grail of my collection.
I don't really have big books like you guys do.
Right.
I have the books that I have. Some of them might be worth a little bit, but I didn't like my ASM 300.
Right. So tell that story real quick.
For those of you who haven't heard the story, I have a neighbor who had some electrical issues. I'm an electrician. Went over there a few times to, help him out. And we're a neighbor. I don't charge him anything. So like the third or fourth time, he's a comic book guy. I was telling him how I really wanted to get the ASM 300. And after I finished changing stopping his daughter's bedroom from catching fire. He came up with this ASM 300 that he had bought off the shelf, read it, put it in a bag and board, and stored it. And he says, I'm giving you this as payment, and if you don't take it, I'm going to burn it in front of you.
Jesus Christ.
I sent it to CGC, unpressed, unclean, and it came back a 9.8.
Right, unbelievable.
Beautiful. I've never gotten that book in a 9.8. That's one of the silly modern book. I mean, it's not a silly book. It's one of those modern books that's always eluded me in a 9.8. That book, First Gambit, for some reason, that's X-Men 266.
Really?
Those two books I cannot get 9.8s in. I barely got a 9.8 in a New Mutants. Oh, there you go. Barely had
I had a refill. We've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And
at least, sorry to interrupt, but Roger's over there. At least Roger's got someone to go back and forth to get beer.
Exactly.
I'm over here. I got to run off the screen.
If my wife, I don't think my wife's watching. I could ask her, but there's no way she's watching.
I think the book I probably spent the most money buying was that ASM 300 Chromium book.
The Chromium, okay,
from Dark Side Jedi.
Oh yeah, that was a big
one.
Which
is a 9.8.
That's a 9.8, very linear.
So it's very linear.
Very linear.
Yep.
Show that.
For you guys who don't know, the guys in the chat that don't know and don't watch 3 Men yet, because I hope you all will. Roger collects ASM 300 swipes as well as the 300 itself. So that's probably the premier book.
I'm at about 75 of them now, Gary.
75.
Right.
Damn.
And don't you have people like just randomly like?
Yeah, I'll get private messages on Instagram. Dude, do you have this cover? It's like I use the CLZ app, but the only things that I've registered so far are my hip hop covers and my ASM 300s. Because those are the ones where I'm at a show, I'm like, oh my God, I don't remember if I have this or not, It was a great, we had a show a few months ago. Justin was convinced, was it at the swap? You had a book and you were convinced that you had found a swipe, that there was no way I had it. You were talking to the artist or the author.
Mhm.
And he's like,
There's no way. Roger
yeah, we were
has it.
talking this live because you have this, and I pulled up my CLZ app. I'm like, you mean that one?
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what the collecting is all about and stuff like that. And you know, whether you're finding stuff, just interesting stuff, you guys. So
And this is something, and I'm sure I've said it on your show, and I've said it on Jem's show, and I've said it on my show. The wonderful thing about this hobby is there's a million avenues you can take. You
Yeah.
can do original art. You could just read. You could just do omnibus. You could just do slabs. You can collect raw. You could just collect X-Men, right? You could just do Marvel. You could just do DC. You could just do statues.
Right,
There's so many avenues to take this hobby. It's wonderful. You can't do it all.
right.
So
you know, you can't. But you
No, you
are
can't.
all going to go to a con though, right? And that's why cons are so awesome right now, because everything that you just mentioned, Gary, is could be at the cons, and that's very interesting. You know what I mean? So I think that's really cool.
Do you want to real quick, Otto, you want to go, I'll give you like 3 minutes tops, talk about Rocket one more time for all the new people who popped in?
Okay, so for all you, everybody watching the show, we have a channel called 3 Men in a Basement, all one word. Please sub up. We are going to do a video by the end of the week and by the end of the weekend for our 1,250 subscriber giveaway. For those of you guys that don't know, we are partnered up with Rocket Comics as your one-stop shop for signature service and pressing. Okay, so they're phenomenal pressers, and they just started a COA, and so we're going to be giving away great books that have their certificate of authenticity and they're raws, but they have when it was done and when it was signed. So we're going to be giving away lots of these books with Rocket Comics, and just some things that you know that each COA is unique. They're numbered. You can verify for their certificate if you don't believe that if you're buying it from somebody else. It costs $10 per COA. Signatures will be witnessed by somebody in Rocket Comics. They come in a Gerber Mylite 2 fullback, sealed up. They're great books that aren't worth grading, but you still want the SIG and to still make it look pretty. So I mean, as a collector, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the slabs, but I enjoy my raw books. Okay. Just so you know, though, I do want to say that these books because of the COAs, they do not qualify though for the yellow label. But if you're going to get the yellow label for one of those books, and you're doing it at the con anyway, so but remember, you guys,
they will be certified by CBCS, wouldn't they?
Yes, they will be verified.
Yes, you absolutely could. So, guys, sub up and comment to 3 Men in a Basement. And in the video that I post probably by Sunday, hashtag 3 Men in a Basement. Hashtag 3MIB. And then once we hit 1250, we're going to give away 5 things. Okay. And then at 5 books from Rocket Comics. And then at 1500, we're going to give away 5 more COA books from Rocket Comics. So we're only growing the channel. It's only getting better.
Yeah.
I want to thank Gary for letting us come on and talk about that. So 3 Men in a Basement, all one word on Instagram. So Gary, thank you very much for letting us join in. Roger.
Yeah. Now, before we get out of here, because we have been just over 2 hours, let's no less than, we're going to get out of here any minute now. But do you guys what do you have coming up other than what you just said?
Yeah, so we do have a live show. So part of 3 Men in a Basement, we have videos dropping. Either Justin drops one or I drop one at least once a week. It's a pre-recorded video. We also have 2 live shows a month. We have a live show coming up this Friday, a week from today. Gary's going to join us. He's got some CGC books that he's holding off on. I've got some mail calls that I want to show with you guys. Roger's got a mail call or 2. Justin's got some books coming in. And we're going to do an unboxing. We know what the books are, but we're going to show them off with you guys. So every 2 weeks, we do live shows. And go back and watch some of our previous live shows. We've had Tom King on. We've had Livio Ramondelli. We had the creator of Bloodshot, who eludes me at this point. I can't think of his name, but
Kevin Van Hook.
Yeah, Kevin Van Hook. We've had him on. So there's lots of great content, all comic book related, all lighthearted stuff.
Yeah.
So again,
we like that fun.
Yeah, go ahead. Want to say anything? I said it all?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have fun. We appreciate, guys like Gary and TiVo, plugging us every time you guys are on it. Great content, good fun. It's nothing too serious. And
that's the key word, guys, is it's just fun. Like, it's just this. It's just BSing and showing off books and what'd you get, what'd you find. And it's just It's just fun. It's a get together.
And like you said, the channels are all offer something different. You go into Gary's channel to see what big, lot he bought, what he's getting back from CGC, and all these big, the greatest collection ever bought. You're coming on to the 3 Men in a Basement, and we're chatting. We're having a good time. We've been having some guests, which has been a ton of fun. Then you go over to Lord of the Long Box, and you're getting all those spec books. You're getting all the news from the Black Knight Report. You're getting all that stuff that, like Tebow said earlier on the chat, other shows are repeating the stuff that we're saying first.
Yeah, good point.
Justin, you have anything coming up on 3 Men?
I am working on a top 50 CGC video, but I'm going to break it out into 5 parts because don't get me wrong. I think these top 50 graded books or top 50 raw books is a great idea, but watching the video for so long, first of all, it's time consuming to do it. It's time consuming to actually watch it. So I'm going to be putting it out in 5 parts. And I really want to edit it well. So that's what I have coming up. If you guys haven't seen or have not checked out 3 Men in the Basement, I dropped a big Star Wars video this past week,
which I can't wait to watch.
I'm telling you, you better let me know which books you have, and if you want to sell some books,
I'll let you know. But go ahead. Sorry.
That's all right. No, so I drop videos on the channel. I'm a big variant guy. So if you guys like to see variant covers, check out any of my haul videos. I do try to drop at least once or twice a month an indie spotlight review. So I read usually the first arc or first 2 story arcs of some book that's not Marvel or DC. I did do one for Something is Killing the Children, and I also did one for the Image Book Die. So you'll see a lot of videos from us. That's pretty much all I got. Gary, thank you so much for letting us jump on. It's always a fun time, whether we're on here or we're talking in our chats and stuff like that. So probably the next time we'll see you is Terrificon, if not hopefully sooner than that if we do a comic swap.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
And definitely, once I get the technology revved up at my house and I'm a little better with the videos, I'm going to start dropping those hip hop spotlights once a week. I have a huge hip hop variant collection, and I'm a big hip hop fan. So to put the book with the band and do a little 10-minute video or whatever about it, as soon as I get that, I'm getting there. I got a microphone finally. I'm working on it. I don't have the time that these guys who are quarantined have.
So I just want you guys to know, don't hashtag 3MIB in this video. I'm going to drop on the 3 Men in the Basement channel by Sunday night a 1,200. What am I saying? 1250 subscriber giveaway. Yeah. In that video is where I want you to hashtag 3MIB. So as far as this live show is considered, I'm going to sign off by saying I'm not making a trade at this point.
Guys, we still have 60 something people in here. So if you guys, I would imagine you guys watch my videos, but I do drop videos Mondays and Thursdays. So I have 2 CGC unboxing videos coming up in the next week or 2. I still have 2 more key issue videos from this big collection. One is Teen Titans / JLA. Justice League.
Oh, that's cool.
The other one is the final batch of DC keys I had. And I saw somebody ask a question earlier in the show about, did I have any Green Lantern books come out of here? That is going to be one of the videos. All the Green Lantern, Superman keys, Flash keys are one. Then Teen Titans and JLA is the other. These CGC videos are books that you've seen in previous videos that are back from CGC that we've talked about. I have a video. I want to do a video. I'm going to tell everyone now. I'm going to be doing a video with my wife, and I'm going to open. I'm really excited about this video. So I've always felt, and we are a
family show, Gary.
Yeah, really.
It's a family show.
So I've always been a little. I don't know if envious is the right word or jealous is the right word, but I've always liked it when I've seen couples at these conventions, husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, like they're into comics or they're into the cosplay or whatever. They each have their little hobby within the hobby. And my wife barely even watches the videos, the movies, the MCU movies,
right.
Nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video with her, and I'm going to shoot like 10 or 20 comic book characters on the screen and see if she can name them. And we'll start real easy with like Captain America or Spider-Man. And then it's going to end up even easier that she won't even be able to get. So
that's great idea. I can't wait for that video.
So we haven't even shot it yet. I still have to download some pictures of characters and just, it's going to be, I hope in my head it's going to be good, but we'll see how it turns out.
And you're a Yankee fan too, Gary. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I am aware. Yeah, big Yankee fan. I'll tell you, it's a struggle right now without baseball. It's so bad right now without baseball. I listen to fantasy sports on Sirius Radio going to work. They're talking about fucking football right now.
Right.
It kills me.
Ugh.
That's because they're gonna have the draft soon.
And I understand that's probably why, but it's like baseball is. I guess I miss it.
Yeah.
It hurts.
When the world all gets back to normal, we'll all be back there and stuff like that. Gary, thank you very much for having us on.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
No problem. Don Davis, you want to follow me on Instagram at verygary_comics. You want to follow these guys, Nemesis Prime, Roger Levesque, Everett Otto. There you go. Follow these guys on Instagram. That's the best place to buy books. If you have questions on variants, hit him up, hit Justin up, Nemesis Prime up on Instagram, because God knows I do, or Star Wars books. Yeah. Everett Otto's always looking to make trades for the first Brainiac. So hit him up. Don't forget the hashtag make the trade. And guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I've been on your show a bunch of times, and I do appreciate you guys coming on. I think we had a lot of fun. It's been over 2 hours, so I apologize for keeping you on.
Don't apologize. We would have ducked out if we needed to.
Yeah, that's true. You guys are 6 feet away, so that's good from each other. Social distancing. So, guys, everybody who's been here for the whole time, thank you so much for sticking around, watching. Even if you popped in and out, I appreciate it. Hopefully, I get to see all you guys at Terrificon in August. Keep an eye out for those videos. Don't forget to sub up to 3 Men in a Basement. And again, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out, everybody.
Thank you.